ESPN Player, your home for more than 5,000 live college games. NCAA football, including the College Bowls and Playoff. NCAA basketball, including March Madness. All the great action you'd expect from ESPN. Plus your favorite ESPN studio shows with SEC Network, ESPNU, and Longhorn Network TV channels available 24/7. Hours and hours of live sport available at your fingertips. Watch the games you love anytime, anywhere on ESPNplayer.com.
Welcome to Houston, the aerospace capital of the world, and the college football world returning in earnest and blasting off into a brand new orbit.
Ole Miss has come to play.
And a touchdown, Texas Tech. And he's got the end zone.
And welcome everyone to the Advocare Texas Kickoff, presented on ESPN by Xfinity. From NRG Stadium, the college football journey beginning with its first full Saturday and culminating January 7th with the College Football Playoff National Championship game. Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach, taking on Ole Miss. There's a look at the former quarterback for the Red Raiders, now in his 6th season on the sidelines. Ready for the big stage here, he says today. Meanwhile, his counterpart on the other side of the field, Matt Luke, the head coach of Ole Miss in his first full year as the head coach, not the interim. Former offensive lineman at Ole Miss. He is a school guy, born and bred. Texas Tech winning the toss, deferring to the second half. Ole Miss will receive the opening kick in this battle between a couple of coaches who have played at their former alma maters. Jalen Jones back deep for Ole Miss. A short kick at the 15. And Ole Miss takes it out beyond the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath down on the sidelines, joining us in just a bit. Dusty, an interesting matchup today between the Big 12 and the SEC, Texas Tech, Ole Miss. A contrast between the offense and defenses here.
We've got a big-time offense from Ole Miss today and a big-time defense for Texas Tech. With Ole Miss, it's up-tempo, it's fast-paced, it's explosive offense. You're going to see the best wide receiving core in all of college football, headlined by A.J. Brown, and an underrated quarterback in Jordan Ta'amu. And Texas Tech defensively returned 10 starters, one of the most improved units in all of college football last season. They led the Big 12 in takeaways, and they've got an NFL talent at linebacker in Dakota Allen.
And there's DeMarcus Lodge on the first reception of the ball game. Jordan Ta'amu, his first full season as starter, started the last 5 games of the season, taking over during the LSU game when Shea Patterson was injured. Downfield and caught, striking quickly. DK Metcalf with the KO blow early. Touchdown. We referenced the potent, explosive receiving core just a moment ago. If you didn't believe us, there's a little evidence. DK Metcalf, 58 yards. The extra point good. And what a very auspicious beginning for Ole Miss.
Well, DK Metcalf is a physical freak. He's 6'4", he's 230, speed, explosive. And when he gets on one-on-one situations, they're going to be looking to go his way quite a bit. In 23, DeMarcus Fields falls down. That's a tough matchup. If you keep your feet, if you fall down, it's an easy touchdown for Ole Miss in this high potent offense. Excellent throw by Jordan Ta'amu, puts it out in front. DK Metcalf has to extend his arms, reach out as he walks into the end zone. That's too easy right there, partner.
And they raise the belt. NWO, nasty wideouts. And he owns the belt, at least for the time being. They have incentivized catching and burning DBs for touchdowns at Ole Miss. And they've got 3 really talented ones. That time it was DK Metcalf with a touchdown catch. They are the only receiving corps that returns 3 guys with 7 or more touchdowns from last season. Bowman on the return, stung at the 10-yard line. Good downfield tackle by Cavante Ruggs, the true freshman that we're going to see on defense here. Let's take one more look at it.
Questionable decision to bring this out. Not exactly sure what he's thinking. Let that go through the end zone, take the touchback, and bam! The big hit delivered. And all the momentum here this first minute of this game with the Ole Miss Rebels.
You couldn't have scripted a better start for head coach Matt Luke and his team.
And that's the true freshman Cavante Ruggs, who's going to be starting on defense. They've been raving about this guy, about his speed, about his motor, and it didn't take long for the true freshman to make an instant impact.
You pointed out it might have been better had he called for the fair catch. There's a look at the new rule for 2018. Would have come out to the 25-yard line. Daylon Ward in the backfield. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders. And nowhere to go on first down, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. Good surge up front, led by Mohamed Sanogo. McLean Carter's the starting quarterback. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury didn't name a starter until just a few moments before the opening kick. Competition between Carter, Duffy, and Bowman, the true freshman. 2nd and 11. First class is complete. Number 19, Zach Austin on the other end of that reception. C.J. Moore making the stop on the play. McLean Carter, Jet Duffy, and Alan Bowman participated in a quarterback competition won by McLean Carter, who only started 1 game last year.
Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss, said he's going to bring pressure, showing pressure on the first 3rd down of the game. Not going to be afraid to man up on the outside against these Texas Tech wide receivers.
This Ole Miss defense was something to prove this year. Pass complete out of the backfield, and it looked like it was enough for the first down. Zach Austin with his 2nd catch of the ball game, and they moved the chains, regaining a little bit of their composure with that first down, Dustin.
It's a nice job by the right side of the offensive line, picking up that blitz, allowing McLean Carter time to step into his throw, and Zach Austin, the senior, finds some open space, and he gets enough to move the chains.
First down and 10 on the handoff. Little end around to Keyshawn Carter, the true freshman. He's a guy that can really fly, a 2-time Texas high school 100-meter champ with a personal best time of 10.22.
That's rolling.
First down and 10. Out to the 33. Keeper up the middle, and Carter using his legs that time. Picks up another 13 yards. Woods on the stop. And Texas Tech with another first down.
McLean Carter has the ability to get some productive yards with his legs. Not a great athlete, but he's capable. We see they fake the jet sweep around, and the quarterback, McLean Carter, sticks it up in between the tackles for a nice pickup.
Cliff Kingsbury known for that air raid spread passing attack. They dropped it that time. Intended for DeLeon Ward. Tell me about this Texas Tech offense and how it's evolved this year. What do they look like?
Well, I expect, Texas Tech, we typically think air raid, spread you out, throw the football all over. Last year, much more emphasis running the football. 5 veteran offensive linemen all coming back up front. The heart and soul of this offense is the offensive line, and we expect to see them on the ground running the football much more. They had a physical training camp, and they want to come out and establish their physicality up front from the onset.
And there's a look at DeLeon Ward on a nice carry. Got about 8 yards on the play. Ward, a 5'10" sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. Showed flashes of promise his freshman year and then sat out last year to concentrate on academics. 3rd down and 2 coming up. And They're going to try and throw it. Got one-on-one coverage. What a grab up top by T.J. Vasher. Wow, that was Odell Beckham style.
Well, this is a guy that has crazy ability to go up and get the football, high point the football. He's 6'6", he's long. Watch him climb the ladder, grab it with one, and bring it in. That's good on Sundays. T.J. Vasher with an instant top 10 for SportsCenter. Wow.
Oh, you called it. And Vasher going to come to the sidelines. What a grab. Setting up a first down and 10 inside the 20-yard line. A promising looking opening drive for Texas Tech. Flag down in the field. Carter kept it himself, brought down shy of the 15-yard line by Javian Hamilton. Let's see what this penalty is about. The first one of the game.
Illegal formation offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, watching him on tape, watch the full extension. The full extension with one arm. He climbs up, then he brings it into his body, possesses the football through the catch. Outstanding concentration and the ability to contort his body up in the air. Wow. You know, I was telling you guys, I watched him on tape towards the end of last year. He became such a key fixture in this offense. High pointing the ball, those jump balls. It's tough to deal with a guy 6'6" with that kind of length.
And especially lethal, you would think, Dusty, down here in the red zone.
That's exactly right.
2nd and 10. Vasher back in the ball game, lined up to the bottom of your screen. They're going to run it again to the left side. Big gaping hole. Ward. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Let's take a look at the right side. Steele's going to get a kick out here. We're going to get a cave down here by Anderson, and a big tunnel right there for DeLeon Ward. Excellent job by the offensive line, opening up the hole, getting to the second level, and DeLeon Ward lowers the shoulder and bangs into the end zone.
Ward with his 4th rushing touchdown of his career. A promising opening drive for Texas Tech, countering the momentum that went to Ole Miss early. In just 2 plays into the ball game. 7-7 with 10:32 to go in the first quarter. First team to 50 wins, Dusty. Timeout. Look at that grab. You talk about nasty wideouts. Texas Tech has some too. And they're going to try and throw it. Got one-on-one coverage. What a grab up top. Got one-on-one coverage. What a grab up top by T.J. Vasher. Wow, that was Odell Beckham. I hope we see a lot more of that. It's early. Might be asking for a lot. Here's Jones on the return. Jones on his feet. Nobody to beat. Take that, Red Raider Nation. How's that for an answer? 94 on the floor. Touchdown.
I'm glad he didn't fair catch it. Wow, great speed in the open field. Blocking up front. And they told us yesterday about the speed of Jalen Jones. Makes one man miss, and it's off to the races. And lighting up the scoreboard here early, Jonesy.
Unbelievable pyrotechnics and fireworks to start this game. What an early Saturday it is here in college football. Jones. Folks, what a day it's going to be. We're going to ball out until we fall out. Back after this.
The AdvoCare Texas Kickoff is presented on ESPN by Xfinity. Now with ESPN3 available on Xfinity X1. And in part by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
Well, the Nassau Johnson Space Center in Houston is the training ground for U.S. astronauts and hosts over 1 million visitors annually. And we have blasted off. We have liftoff in a huge way here in Houston. College football is back. Ole Miss, 2 plays, 14 points. Texas Tech with a long drive and a touchdown. And we've only played a few minutes, Dusty.
Houston, the offenses do not have a problem.
Raiders on the return. Bowman. And Bowman out to the 26-yard line. Let's go back to the studio. Adnan and the crew. Adnan, what's up?
Hey, Mark, what's going on, man? Greetings to you. Texas taking on Maryland. Year 2 of Tom Herman. Maryland, a tumultuous offseason, but Deshaun Jones here, 28 yards. He goes up the gut as the Terps race out to a 7-0 lead. Back to you and Dusty.
Boy, when you think about all that Maryland has gone through during the offseason, interesting to see how they react today against Texas. And there's a look at Landshark. Ole Miss.
Situation in Maryland can galvanize that team.
Interesting.
They all come together. They're like, a lot of bad things are going on, but if they can come together and work together as a group, it could be a special season for them.
A lot of adversity there. Bailey on Ward in the backfield. First down and 10. Carter on the waggle, incomplete at the 37-yard line. Folks, college football is back on ABC. Number 6 Washington battling number 9 Auburn from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. 3:30 Eastern time and at 8 Eastern, Louisville taking on number 1 Alabama in the Camping World kickoff game from Orlando. As always, both games streaming live on the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere. And Nick Saban says that both his quarterbacks, Hurts and Tua, will play today. I'm going to get back to you on that, partner, and tell me what you think about that situation. Second down and 10. Ward out of the backfield. Good catch. And brought down right around the 30-yard line. What do you make of the fact that Nick Saban hasn't said there's a clear-cut number 1?
Well, he's in a tough spot, right? I mean, when you look at the situation, Jalen Hurts is 26-2 as a starter. I mean, he's done such a good job for them, but at the same time, to me, Tua is the more talented one. It's a delicate balance these days, dealing with quarterbacks and transferring and making sure you make everybody feel right. I think Tua's the better player, but I expect early on we see both guys.
Sometimes those things have a way of working itself out. That pass incomplete. No flag on the play. Intended for Jadion High. And for the first time in this game, we'll see a punter come onto the field. A 3 and out for the Red Raiders. And that brings on Dominic Panazzolo.
Excellent coverage there on the outside by Montrell Custis. Comes in at that star position, kind of their nickel back. He's got good coverage skills. Excellent coverage there on Jadion High.
Elijah Moore back at the 23-yard line. There's that rugby-style kick that gets a great bounce for Texas Tech. And the ball will stop at about the 26-yard line. Molly McGrath, what's good down there?
Well, Mark, Ole Miss offensive coordinator Phil Longo grades his players on a scale of 1 to 4 based on their ability to make good decisions while playing fast. A 1 is a guy who can play with his eyes closed. A 2 is a starter who still needs more development. And 3s and 4s aren't going to see the field. And Longo's goal is to have 11 1s on the field every single game day. And we've seen a lot of 1s so far today. Jordan Ta'amu was a 1- at the end of last season. Now he's a solid 1. We can tell by that today, guys.
These guys all want to have that good report card, Molly. First down and 10. The pass complete to Metcalf. Little receiver screen. Good for about 7 yards. Metcalf, Lodge, and Brown, a potent trio.
I love the fact that A.J. Brown's out there getting an excellent block on 23 to Marcus Fields to help spring DK Metcalf on the perimeter.
Second down and 3. Jordan Ta'amu started the last 5 games last year. Hands it off to Scotty Phillips. And nowhere to go over that right side. He completed 67% of his passes last year. Threw for over 1,600 yards. An interesting journey for Ta'amu. As we take a look at the replay.
Dakota Allen, outstanding linebacker. It's a counter. He feels it, gets over the top. Him and Joseph Wallace. Nice play on second down.
3rd and 4. Pass complete to the tight end, Dawson Knox. Ta'amu throwing a rope that time, and Ta'amu went to high school in Hawaii, Pearl City, Hawaii. Didn't have a lot of offers after playing at a small high school, and went to a junior college in New Mexico Military Institute. Pulls the trigger again, pass complete to Metcalf early in the game, his favorite target, and just about a yard shy of the first down.
You know, I popped the tape in watching Ole Miss from the beginning of the year and then the latter half of the year, and I got to tell you, for as much praise as Shea Patterson gets, I think Jordan Ta'amu was the better quarterback last year within this offense. More decisive, more efficient, and a better runner getting positive yards for this offense.
But this time, Dusty sacked back at the 40-yard line by Broderick Washington. Number 96, a solid 3-year starter. Ta'amu couldn't get away, a loss of 7.
But Broderick Washington up front, he's a staple along this defensive line. He's just going to work and continue to work on the offensive line. Watch the hands, the arm over. He continues to work, and he gets inside as one of the linemen fall down for a big sack.
3rd and long. Ta'amu can run it. Decides not to, and fires a little bit high, intended for DeMarcus Lodge. So for the first time today, Ole Miss will have to punt with 6:49 to go here in the first quarter. Good coverage in that Texas Tech secondary. Texas Tech returning 10 starters from last year.
David Gibbs going to be happy about this. Locked up all over the place, playing cover 2. Nowhere for Jordan Ta'amu to go with the football. The pressure comes late. Gets that defense off the field.
And that was Ta'amu's first incompletion of the game. Daquan Bowman back deep there for Texas Tech at his own 22.
The previous play is under review.
There might have been a little bit of contact.
Defensive back comes in on the receiver. I think they may take a look at this for possible targeting.
Here's what they're probably looking at. Oh, he came in with the head.
He did.
You saw the crown of the helmet there. That's Desmond Smith, number 4, with the hit on Lodge right there. And the emphasis on hits to the head and spearing still under scrutiny, still a point of emphasis with the targeting call this year. We're going a video review. Of course, we've all talked about the components going back a couple of years now with the launch. And there's a look at the targeting rule. A dangerous hit that involves launching, upward thrust, severe strike, forcible contact to the head, neck area, or defenseless opponent. Dusty, does that fit any of the criteria that we see on the screen as we take one more look here?
I mean, I think it does. I think it's a forcible hit by the crown of the helmet. Anything above the face mask and back, 360 degrees around, is considered the crown of the helmet. As you watch, he lowers his eyes and he uses that front part of his helmet and he contacts with Lodge's helmet. So, yeah, I think by the letter of the law, that's going to be targeting.
I tell you, that's a pretty good catch by the officials, and they are under heavy scrutiny as always. And it seemed to be a very innocuous, harmless play. And when you talk about targeting, as I mentioned, it's still a point of emphasis. What is the right way to do this here?
Well, the right way to do this here would be to use his shoulder and go through his body, get his head outside of that wide receiver's frame and use the shoulder more into the body as opposed to going up at the head.
It looks like they've arrived at a decision.
And his eyes dropped. Haven't you always heard that, see what you hit? If your eyes go down, you drop your head, you don't know exactly what you're hitting.
After review, it was determined personal foul targeting number 4, Texas Tech. 15-yard penalty, first down. Number 4, Texas Tech is disqualified.
And they lose Desmond Smith, more importantly and significantly, ejected.
And that's a young man that started 6 games, and we've talked about this wide receiving core of Ole Miss. Tech knew they already had their hands full. Now they're down one of their starting quarterbacks for the rest of the day. And the other aspect of this, they had gotten off the field for the first time, right? And now Ole Miss just extends the drive, basically like a turnover. The Texas Tech defense thought they were off the field, but here they have to get back out there and try to get another stop.
Red Raiders already a little short-handed in the secondary with Deshaun Johnson a little nicked up. First down and 10. Tamu complete to A.J. Brown, and Brown carries Justice Parker a couple of yards for an 8-yard pickup. I talked about Tamu's journey to Ole Miss, able to throw to these three talented wideouts, arguably the best group in the nation. Plenty of time for Tamu, and wisely throws it out of bounds.
I'd love to see someone try to argue it, because A.J. Brown, he's as good as it gets, and after the catch, he's got speed, he can catch the football, but when the ball's in his hands after the catch, he becomes a running back at 6'1", 230. DK Metcalf, you've already seen the freaky size that he has, the athleticism, the speed, and what he's capable of. And DeMarcus Lodge kind of does a little bit of everything. Not great at one thing, but really solid all the way around. You mix in Dawson Knox, the tight end, and man.
Can you hook me up with one of those belts?
You look good in that.
Third and short situation. They're going to hand it off to the first man through, Scotty Phillips, and he picks up enough for the first down. Phillips transferred from Jones Community College in spring, a 4-star prospect. Hey, the ESPN app now with the ESPN Plus feature, folks. Get more ESPN and download it now. Great feature. See a lot of extra games that you wouldn't otherwise get a chance to see. First down and 10. Ole Miss wide open. That's Lodge tiptoeing down the sidelines. He was working against Justice Parker. Another first down for Ole Miss.
Way too much cushion. A little bit of confusion, I think, in the coverage. DeMarcus Lodge left all alone on the sideline for an easy Ole Miss first down.
Lodge started all 12 games last season, slowed by an injury in the preseason, both he and Brown, but back and healthy here to start the season. First and 10. Trips to the wide side of the field. Tamu incomplete for Metcalf. Talked about Tamu. He only had 2 offers coming out of junior college in New Mexico, Minnesota, and Ole Miss. And even though he knew he could have played maybe faster at Minnesota, he decided to take the more difficult route at Ole Miss. Got the job when Shea Patterson was injured last year. 12th play of the drive. Gonna try and run. And tiptoes out of bounds at the 7-yard line, pushed out by DeMarcus Fields. That sets up an interesting third down call here, Dusty.
It does, and you know, you're in kind of your short field, so the back of the end zone's kind of an extra defender. We'll see here if David Gibbs tries to get the ball out of Jordan Tamu's hand quickly and bring some pressure.
3 receivers to the top side of your screen. DK Metcalf, the widest one. Lodge to the bottom of your screen, number 5. Tamu rifles it incomplete behind his intended receiver, Octavius Cooley. And that brings about a 4th down.
He had him open, threw it behind his intended target. Octavius Cooley found an open area in the end zone. Jordan Tamu tries to hit him on the run, throwing against the grain, against his body. And that pass sails behind his intended target, the tight end, Octavius Cooley.
Luke Logan in for the field goal attempt from 24 yards out, 2 of 3 last year. Didn't kick much, but he knocks this one through, and Ole Miss now leads 17-7 with 4:30 to go. A little bit of a win for Cliff Kingsbury's defense. Back to Houston right after this. Now let's take a look at this blimp-worthy play brought to you by Goodyear. Dusty, from any angle from the blimp or on the field, that is an outstanding catch by T.J. Vasher. That set up the score for the Red Raiders at 6-6.
That big wingspan, too.
Like a pterodactyl.
Not that concentration, though, going up and snagging that ball out of the air.
They got a little bit of work to do, down 17-7. Quan Bowman back with his kick. And unlike last time, he's going to take a knee. It'll come out to the 25 as we take it back to the studio. Adnan, what's up?
All right, Mark, thank you. CarMax Drive, what's possible update over on ABC. It's Oregon State taking on Ohio State. It's Ryan Day, the coach for today, with Urban Meyer on that 3-game suspension. Mike Weber, 16-yard touchdown, 14-7 for the Buckeyes midway through the first. Jonesy, back to you.
All right, the Buckeyes without their head coach Urban Meyer, and as you pointed out with the Maryland situation, sometimes controversy and adversity has a way of galvanizing the players on the team.
I think that's what Ryan Day's message has been. You know, shut down everything else outside of these walls and make it all about us in here.
First down and 10. McClain Carter brought down by a couple of guys, led by Victor Evans. Things starting to get a little contentious down on the field. Take one look at this.
Okay.
Don't at me. Don't at me.
Getting a little chippy out there. Uh-oh.
And now we have an injury, it looks like, to McClain Carter. Talked about him in a three-way quarterback battle with Duffy and the true freshman Bowman. There's Duffy on the sidelines. Carter, the only guy that saw significant time last year. And they're going to check him out at the 20-yard line. There's one more look at it. His knee seemed to buckle there under his own weight.
Oh, I think it's his ankle right there getting twisted back up underneath him.
We'll have Molly on the case when we come back. Welcome back to Energy Stadium here in Houston. Texas Tech under duress right now. Their starting quarterback, McClain Carter, injured on the last play. Alan Bowman, a true freshman, slings it incomplete at the 28-yard line. Let's take one more look at the previous play and the injury to Carter. Dusty looked like he really got twisted underneath on that tackle.
Yeah, and then it kind of torqued, and you could see the pain he was in. He was grimacing. Not going to be good, but what's changed here is we now have a true freshman in the game, Alan Bowman, out of Grapevine. He did come in last spring, so he's got a full spring and fall camp under his belt, but I think he was more of a project, a guy that they were hoping they could integrate later in his career, but he's been thrown to the fire here in Houston.
In a big way. 3rd and 10 for the true freshman. The safe play hands it off to DeLeon Ward. Let's go down to Molly for more.
Yeah, Mark, McClain Carter right now being carted off the field. He's holding his left ankle in pain, and he was pointing to that with the athletic training staff. And he can't even put any weight on that left ankle. I'll keep you updated as soon as I know more.
All right, so Cliff Kingsbury had these 3 guys to decide between during the spring and summer as to who the starter was going to be. Just announced it previous to kickoff, although most people had the indication it was going to be Carter, but now it's Alan Bowman. They're going to punt it here. Dominic Panazzolo back at his own 13-yard line. The rugby-style kick will carry him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. With just under 3 minutes to go. Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels.
And now Texas Tech has really got to dig in defensively, because offensively, you don't know what you're going to get out of a young man who's just been thrown out there for the first time. So defensively, this is what they wanted to hang their hat on coming into the season. They felt they were much improved. They had something to show today.
They run it on 1st down, right between the tackles, and a great run. A dash by Scotty Phillips, a 5'11 junior, brought down by Dorsey.
They were excited about Scotty Phillips. Physical downhill runner, low pad leverage. Earned rave reviews from Phil Longo and Matt Luke yesterday when we sat down and talked with them.
Pick up 12 on the receiver screen, complete to DK Metcalf. And Metcalf with a gain of about 7. A.J. Brown with a good block out in front of Metcalf.
Well, A.J. Brown, we know about him catching the football and what he does when the ball's in his hands. But, man, he's out there making blocks, taking defensive backs, and open up big holes.
Headed off to Scotty Phillips again. Yeah, we saw the size of Brown before the game down in the field. He's a big dude.
Watch A.J. Brown. I just love the fact that he cares. He's a football player. When I'm off the ball and I'm not catching, I'm still going to affect the play. That's how a big-time first-round NFL wide receiver takes the field.
Phillips again stopped about a yard short. Let's go downstairs to Molly.
Well, you guys said he's a football player. He's also a baseball player. Brown was drafted by the San Diego Padres out of high school, and he has said he hopes to pursue his career in baseball as well. He has to make a big decision in the future, probably this year.
Yeah, still plays a little bit, spends a little bit of time with the baseball team in the offseason. Pretty talented two-sport athlete. 4th down coming up. And 1 to go. They're going to leave the offense on the field.
Texas Tech was really good in short yardage situations last year.
Not this time. Great juke. Oh, he hit him with the sauce. Phillips. Touchdown, Mississippi. And what a stiff arm on Bonnie. He was on the wrong end of that one. A 39-yard dash by Scotty Phillips. And it's 24-7 for Ole Miss. Off to a great start here in the first quarter.
4th and short. Put your big boy pads on. Let's get physical. Watch this side of the line. Cave everything down. He's going to get too high, and a big hole opens up right here where Scotty Phillips makes an excellent cut. They cave everything down. Watch the cut. Makes the safety miss in the open field. John Bonnie gets nothing but grass. Excellent cut. The vision will shake him down. John Bonnie, the Texas grad transfer, gets a little stiff arm as he rolls into the end zone. And Jordan Ta'amu, I think he knew it was coming. He saw the end zone up ahead.
All he saw was the back of his cleats.
Well, they were wondering how they were going to replace the yards they lost from Jordan Wilkins last year, over 1,000 yards. They were excited about Scotty Phillips. And we can see here in the first quarter why.
Yeah, Dusty, that's his first rushing touchdown of his career. And boy, Matt Luke is incensed on the sidelines about something. 1:08 to go. And a propitious beginning for Ole Miss. But on the return, it's Bowman. Tackled on Mississippi's side of midfield at the 48-yard line. Perhaps a touchdown saving tackle by Hamilton. A 49-yard return as we go back to the studio.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. This time I want to update you what's happening to Oklahoma and Florida Atlantic. Baker Mayfield has moved on, so Kyler Murray is the quarterback. You're going to Lee Morris, who escapes the tackle and just goes all the way. 65 yards. That's the second longest touchdown pass of Murray's career. And the Sooners right now having fun against Lane Kiffin and Florida Atlantic. 21-0, not even through one. Jonesy?
And they are not even missing a beat without the Heisman Trophy winner and first-round pick Baker Mayfield. Got a pretty good running back there at Oklahoma, Dusty. I know you know about him.
Rodney Anderson.
Yep. Pass complete to number 4, Antoine Wesley, right near the first down marker. They're going to give it to him. Bowman, the quarterback, Alan Bowman, out of Grapevine, Texas, 6'3", a true freshman, suddenly thrust into the number 1 spot. Trey King now in the backfield. And King on the handoff, picks up 2. Dusty, tell me, what's it like for that true freshman to come in at that position this early?
Oh, he's got some wide eyes right now, right? I mean, I'm sure he was not expecting to play, though you've always got to have yourself prepared and ready. And I mean, I think you just try to calm him down if you're Cliff Kingsbury. Easy throws, balls coming out quick, not much to read. And we talked about that run game. The problem is the score is getting a little bit out of your hands, so you're going to have to put the ball in the air.
Which he does here, and he completes it to Wesley. Wesley still on his feet, but pushed out of bounds. We talked about the contentiousness dialing up a little bit.
Yeah, he's clearly out.
Out of bounds, but a 14-yard pickup, first down and 10.
The crowd was not very happy. They thought that he was able to keep himself in bounds.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter play. He stepped out right there. Boy, 15 minutes in the books, Dusty. Pretty good start. Meanwhile, Matt Luke, folks, he's smiling. He just hasn't told his face yet, okay? Back after this. Well, we're in Houston, and we certainly haven't had any problems with blast-off or lift-off. A bunch of combustible incendiary plays already here in the ball game after just 15 minutes. A lot of points on the board. The problem is for Texas Tech, most of them belonging to Ole Miss as we start the second quarter. And a spirited run by Trey King, the backup running back. Terrence Steele with a good block out front. Ole Miss with a 58-yard touchdown pass to start the game. Just the second play, DK Metcalf. Kickoff return and a 39-yard run as well by Scotty Phillips. Accounting for most of the scoring here in the ball game. 24-7. Mark Jones chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath down at the sidelines. Here on the first full Saturday of college football. And it is great to be back. Texas Tech threatening at the 13. Bowman hands it off to King. And a pickup of 2. Let's go downstairs to Molly.
Hey, Mark, this is a big stage for a true freshman. Cavante Ruggs, a big star on Ole Miss's defense. He's right now being evaluated for dizziness. He just went back to the locker room. He is questionable to return.
Players, coaches raving about this young man yesterday, and we sat down with them.
There's a look at Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator. Came over from Auburn. He had recruited Ruggs while he was at Auburn and then had an inside track on him to get him to come to Ole Miss. And speaking of inside track, great tackle by Kadir Shepard, who had the inside track on Trey King, Dusty.
Well, they run the counter, they pull that tackle, and no one's there to slow down Kadir Shepard. He just chases down the tackle, makes a nice play behind the line of scrimmage. Explosive off the football. They're expecting big things from him off the edge, especially rushing the passer.
Second and long. They bring some pressure on the fade, incomplete. Broken up by Miles Hartfield, intended for Wesley. And well defended that time by the DB, Miles Hartfield, who had a couple of picks last year.
Ole Miss brings a blitz and they get home. Ball has to come out quick from the freshman Alan Bowman. Initially, from where I'm standing, it looked like a lot of contact. Quite a bit of contact before the ball got there. I'm surprised that did not get a flag.
Well, Hartfield looked like he ran through him. Bowman, little jailbreak screen, complete down to the 6-yard line to Kashawn Carter, the sprint champion in the state of Texas high school ranks last year. Short of the first down, fourth down, and they're going to send the place kicking unit in.
Get down here, got to come away with points. It's the right call by Cliff Kingsbury. Almost had the screen set up. Solid open field tackle.
Clayton Hatfield in to attempt this field goal. A little chip shot. 6 of 10 last year. This one from 25. And he drills it home. So not a bad opening for Alan Bowman to get some points on the board after taking over from McLean Carter. Folks, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. When you put in the hours, the reps, and the heart, nothing can keep you from being blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven. Beautiful warm day here in the energy capital of the world, amongst other things, Houston. NRG Stadium. Ole Miss was 6-6 a season ago, and we had a great visit with their coaching staff yesterday. Matt Luke, we talked about the fact that he played at his alma mater, was on staff previous to being named the head coach. And it was interesting when he talked to us about trying to reestablish their prominence. Because remember, just a couple of years ago, 2016, they played in the Sugar Bowl. He spoke with Dabo Swinney when he first got the job, and amongst other things, Swinney said, hey, you have to change the culture from the inside out. And they're attempting to take a small step here this afternoon.
Talked about consistency of a program, not take those dips.
And this one will come out to the 25 as we go back to the studio.
All right, Jonesy, thank you very much. Opening weekend studio update is brought to you by NHTSA. Furman and Clemson. Things have changed since 1896 when Clemson won 14-6. Here, Kelly Bryant looking for 6 with Amari Rodgers. 10-0 right now through one quarter play. Jonesy.
All right, Adnan, back here, 14-point game. Matt Luke was excited about his crew coming into the game. Said he had a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. Getting them to play for the guy next to them. Damu slings it complete to A.J. Brown. And Brown with a first down out to the 41-yard line and a pickup of 16 yards. And that's sure to put a smile on the mascot's face, right, Tony? What do you make of the new land shark, man?
I don't know, man. Kind of scary.
He's fierce.
That's a scary looking shark.
That's incomplete that time. The spirit of the land shark dates back to 2008. Ole Miss won the Cotton Bowl after 4 straight losing seasons. Senior linebacker and Iraq War veteran Tony Fine made the legendary fins up gesture after a game-changing play, and the Ole Miss new mascot is Tony the land shark in honor of him. Brown out of the backfield this time, picks up about 2. Dorsey making the stop.
Solid open field tackle by Vontae Dorsey. Comes flying in from the safety position.
I like a menacing mascot. I don't know about you.
What's that?
I don't like these warm and fuzzy mascots.
You want
I like
got a
my
little bite
nasty.
to it?
Yes.
Okay. I like a little nasty.
Give me the whole Jaws thing, man.
Texas Tech going to try to come up with something nasty right here defensively. They need to stop.
Down by 14 on 3rd and 8. Tamu goes through his progression. Incomplete for the tight end Dawson Knox, and a good stop there by Texas Tech.
It's good protection. Jordan Tamu has plenty of time to throw the football, just a 4-man rush, but they're going to play zone coverage on the backside, and nothing comes open. Credit Texas Tech secondary doing an excellent job getting in the throwing lanes, finding the wide receivers, and really giving nowhere for Jordan Tamu to throw the football. He tries to find Dawson Knox, but tight coverage and the pass behind his intended target.
There's the punt by Brown. Muffed but recovered at the 17-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 as Bowman was able to get it back. A 40-yard punt. I like a little bit of jaw jacking once in a while.
You make a play, let them hear about it.
So I want you to welcome the new head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. Come on in.
Well, that was the scene in wake of the win for Ole Miss and Coach Luke in the Egg Bowl after they defeated Mississippi State. 2-yard gain for Ward. And it was interesting. He went to interview after that win against Mississippi State, and he sat down with the athletic director, Ross Bjork, and said, hey, if you're going to hire me because I'm prepared, not just because I'm an Ole Miss guy. And it was clear that he was the choice of the athletic director.
He wanted to be hired because he's the right guy, and he's put his time in, and he deserves that job. And he understands what it takes to get Ole Miss at the highest level. What I love, though, is we sat down with those players yesterday, Greg Little, Jordan Ta'amu. They love this guy. I said, did you guys, at the end of the season, were y'all winning for him? They said, absolutely, and we're still playing for him. They love their coach, and they couldn't be more happy that he was the one named to take over this football program.
Quick 3rd and 9.
Well, Dusty, Greg Little also said, we're more motivated than ever because Coach Luke doesn't get the respect he deserves in the SEC. He referenced an online article of SEC Coach Power Rankings that listed Luke at second to last. He said he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
And that's another motivating factor. That pass incomplete. And a quick 3 and out. Ryder Anderson with good pressure. And here's what he had to say. There's no more fear of the unknown out there. This is a chance to build on the end of the season. And they come into this year with a lot of optimism. The fact that they've got some guys that have played a lot of football on both sides of the football. And I don't think this is going to be a team that's going to suffer to score points this year, Dusty.
No, this offense is legit. Phil Longo knows exactly what he's doing. He's got all the key components. But what Coach Luke told us was positive momentum, and that's what they've done. They've picked up where they left off at the end of last year on the field, and also doing a great job on the recruiting trail as well.
Montezolo's punt comes down to the 34-yard line, and a fair catch called right there. It'll be 1st down and 10 as Bowman made the catch. That was more, actually. 47-yard punt. A little history lesson on the other side of this. Stick around. We'll be back to Houston after this.
The Advocare Texas Kickoff, presented on ESPN by Xfinity, is brought to you by Advocare. We build champions. Shop and learn more at advocare.com. And Mazda, feel alive.
Well, the Houston Astrodome has been the site of many legendary sports moments, and after Hurricane Katrina becoming the shelter for more than 25,000 Gulf Coast people displaced by the storm, and you think about some of the great sporting events that have been held in that formerly iconic landmark here in Houston.
My favorite, I remember watching that game in the 60s, UCLA Houston. Alvin Hayes, Lou Alcindor, huh? That was a good one.
Yeah, our producer Kim Belton actually, I think, produced that game. 1st down and 10 for Ole Miss. This is Woolard stopped. Hey, I got another one for you when it comes to the Astrodome. You remember a guy on a motorcycle? Evil Knievel?
Oh, yeah.
He broke a lot of bones in that building.
Oh, man. Evil Knievel.
He had a spectacular crash. Now a heritage site, which means that it can be untouched. A historical landmark. Into the short side of the field, complete at the 41-yard line to Braylon Sanders. Boy, an embarrassment of riches at the receiving position for Ole Miss this year. And Sanders, another one.
And they have a couple of true freshmen they like a lot, Miles Battle and Elijah Moore. It's a big 3rd down and 5, 3rd and medium scenario. Well, traditionally, last year David Gibbs would bring pressure, play man-to-man coverage, but these receivers may have to play zone.
Ta'amu to Brown, lunging and stretching. They're going to give him the 1st down on a great play by A.J. Brown, a native of Starkville, Mississippi, which really underscores how hard it was for him, number one, to go to the quote-unquote other school, their rival at Ole Miss in Oxford.
It's just such a tough matchup in the slot.
Play fake, trying to pop the top on the defense. Caught by Sanders. He got him behind Coleman.
You can't throw it any better than what Jordan Ta'amu just did. Goal ball down the field, no safety help. Puts it over the outside shoulder right where his receiver can make a play. Doesn't get any better than that. And he picks on Douglas Coleman, who's in for the injured Desmond Smith on the big game.
That time Woolyard stopped by Broderick Washington, but what a play by Ta'amu and catch by Sanders. Deep in Texas Tech territory at the 11-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
Broderick Washington comes inside on Jordan Sims. Nice tackle for loss.
Hey, back at the 19-yard line by Tony Jones sets up a 3rd down and goal. This would be a huge stop for Texas Tech if they could hold him here.
They do a nice job here of corralling the quarterback. 96 Washington, he's going to work out. It's Jordan Tom who surveys the field. He wants to get outside. Watch Washington get outside. Corral him, keep him in, and allow his defenders to come pick up the sack.
Loss of 8. 3rd down and goal. DK Metcalf split to the top of your screen. Lodge to the bottom. And Phil Longo is going to talk it over with his quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu.
Timeout called. Ole Miss.
3rd and goal coming up on the other side. Taco Bell and the Live Moss student selection committee are on the lookout for passionate fans like these all year long. And that guy at the bottom of the screen there got to be a super duper senior or extra deluxe grad student, right?
Yes.
Reminds me
taking him a while to get that degree.
Yeah, reminds me of me. They had to blow up the classroom to get me out of the 3rd grade. 3rd and goal coming up.
Big 3rd down for this Tech defense. But they're going to play coverage.
4 receivers out on this play. Ta'amu going to take off. And he's going to come up short, obviously, run out of bounds at the 12-yard line. How big is this for Texas Tech defensively to be able to hold them to maybe just a field goal here?
They had to get that stop. They had to get that stop. They could not go down. 3 touchdown. David Gibbs doing whatever he can to get his defense inspired, to get them both their backs. And it almost seemed like Ole Miss conceded giving that up. Texas Tech just drops 8, only rushed 3. It's a quarterback draw. Tech's able to get off the field.
And here's Luke Logan from 29 yards out. Made one earlier from 24. He's 2 for 2 today. And the lead is back up to 17 points. Ole Miss has not trailed in the game. It was tied at 7 apiece. With Kingsbury going with a true freshman at quarterback when we come back. And 92 is 2 for 2. Welcome back, everyone, to NRG Stadium in Houston. And now for today's Half-Life Trivia question. Ole Miss began playing football in 1893. There are 2 seasons where they did not play. What was the year and the reasons? Ruminate that for a little bit. Come out to the 25-yard line. I can smell the wood burning. Adnan Burke, you got the answer to that? Back.
Always got good senses, Jonesy. Meantime, Florida Atlantic and Oklahoma. Here's Rodney Anderson. It has been all Sooners. 5th time they've scored 35 points in the first half under Lincoln Riley. That's the 2nd most the FBS in that time behind Ohio State. 35-0 midway through the 2nd. Jonesy.
Putting a hurt on him. Rodney Anderson got a brother Ryder Anderson playing in this game on defense for Ole Miss.
Katy, Texas. Rodney Anderson, what the second half of the season he had last year, I thought he was the best running back in college football down the stretch, and obviously off to a good start there at home against Florida Atlantic.
1st and 10 for the true freshman quarterback, Alan Bowman. Comes back on the screen to DeLeon Ward and brought down almost immediately. The ball came loose, but it appeared that Ward was down first. C.J. Moore was the first one to get there. We talked about Oklahoma as we take a look at the preseason Big 12 poll. You think they're the clear-cut favorite, Dusty?
I think they are most talented team. I don't think they're going to take the step back offensively that most people did. Good defense coming back. I think TCU's a team to watch as well. Really good defense for Gary Patterson. We know at West Virginia, Will Greer in that offense is high-flying. One thing about the Big 12, it's wide open because I think for that 2nd spot to get in a Big 12 title game, there's 4 or 5 teams really got a chance to make a run.
On 2nd and 9, out to the 32-yard line, it's DeLeon Ward. Hey, back to the Big 12. I know we have a lot of football to play between now and the 7th of January when we get to Santa Clara for the College Football Playoff National Championship game. But is the Big 12 champion going to be in that college football playoff?
I did not pick them in mine. I think that they definitely could. I think clearly Oklahoma gives you that best opportunity. I just thought with this league, it's going to kind of cannibalize itself. Remember, it's a round robin. Everybody plays everybody. I think it's going to be tough for someone to come out with just one loss.
Long way to go until we get there. 3rd and 2. Bowman with the catch and a first down. Molly, down to you.
Well, Mark, Ole Miss linebacker Cavante Ruggs will not return with a head injury. He's undergoing concussion protocol in the locker room right now.
Boy, that's a guy that defensive coordinator McGriff really enjoyed during summer ball.
Big loss for Ole Miss. That was a big first down, though, for Texas Tech. Great concentration on the sidelines by Antoine Wesley. A little toe tap to move the chains.
Good touch on that ball by Alan Bowman, who's taken over now from McLean Carter, who was injured in the first quarter. Hand off to Ward around the edge, got the first down and then some. Into Ole Miss territory, brought down by Miles Hartfield. And a 19-yard gain and a first down. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. They're going fast. Bowman over the middle, had a man wide open, incomplete. Intended for a high.
That's a throw Bowman's got to be able to make. Jadian High's wide open, the middle of the field on a post. Alan Bowman comes up way short. Finds nothing but turf.
What do you make of this transformational offense? Texas Tech more running, less passing than even last year.
Well, they're going to continue to do that. They're going to lean on this offensive line with a young quarterback. You're going to give him easy situations, easy throws as they set the screen up right here again. Another easy throw to try to get him into a rhythm and not force him to take too many shots down the field.
Well, they're going to give him a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 coming up. Bowman, a guy that didn't have a lot of offers going into his senior season of high school last year until mid-June. And after going to Texas Tech's football camp in mid-June, he verbally committed 4 days later. He's 5 of 11 so far.
Be surprised if they don't heat up this quarterback here. Wesley McGriff, he told us he wanted to bring pressure.
A whistle and a timeout called by Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, their first time out of the half. 30 timeout.
Well, Kingsbury going to try and get his true freshman the right play. Well, we're going to go back to that Aflac trivia question. Look at the length of time that Ole Miss has been playing football and the time that they didn't play, just on 2 different occasions. I saw you cheating, man. You use your phone.
What you talking about, man? Come on, you can't be saying that. Come on, man.
Oh, you were checking something else.
Yeah. I was checking.
Okay.
I was checking my Twitter.
Here's a look at the question. Ole Miss began playing football 1893. Tell me the answers.
What had to be when a war was?
See if you got the
Let's
right.
go. I'm just gonna throw. I'm gonna guess 1943. Who knows? I don't know.
That one was a good one. That one. And then the yellow fever in 1897. Just twice. I mean, they're 122-2, I guess, for playing football.
That's right.
Still pretty good. No doubt watching this one at the Grove in Oxford, Mississippi. Bowman up top. Coverage down the sidelines and a flag thrown as T.J. Vasher was unable to get to it. Jaylon Jones, their best cover corner for Ole Miss, in on the coverage.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. 15-yard penalty, first down.
He's in good position. He just rode him out of bounds. He put his body into his body and continued to work him out of bounds. He did get his hand in there. Not a lot of contact. And the problem for Jaylon Jones, I think he was in good position. He didn't need to do that. So good call by the official. I think that's the right call, but mistake by Jaylon Jones, their best cover guy.
Moves the ball down to the 30-yard line. Ward battling down to the 26. picked up 3, brought down by Zedrick Woods. Leon Ward, as I mentioned, missed last season. Take care of an injury as well as concentrating on academics. He was consistent in their spring games. Second and 6. Here he is again, trying the right side. Picked up the first down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Ward got 9.
Well, this is a perfect, this will give you the difference in this offense and what they've been. 11 in the backfield's a tight end. He's going to lead block. They don't typically have that. They just want to get to the perimeter, get someone out in front, and get some hard yards on the ground.
Back to a little swing pass here. Henry brought down after about a 1-yard gain. Not the traditional quote-unquote air raid that we're used to seeing from Texas Tech.
Sometimes you got to play to your strengths. You got to play to your personnel. And when you're a team that's built with 5 returning starters in your offensive line, a young, inexperienced quarterback, a lot of guys to replace at wide receiver, that's kind of how you have to morph and you have to adapt to fit your personnel.
Second and 9, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Hand off to Ward. Keeping it on the ground again. Down to the 14-yard line. Woods making the tackle, a pickup of 2 on the play. Kingsbury went 6-7 last year, had that upset win against Texas to end the regular season, then lost their bowl game. But 30-33 overall. And looking to turn the beat around a little bit this season. Trey King now in on the 11th play of the drive at tailback. 3rd and 7. The fade into the end zone. Touchdown! Jadian High.
Well, that true freshman quarterback just grew up quite a bit on that drive. Pressure off the edge on 3rd down. He stands in there. He's cool, calm, collected. The confidence a throw like that's going to give the young quarterback, Alan Bowman, is off the charts.
Boy, great touch, Dusty, on that touchdown pass. Under 2 minutes to go, and Texas Tech playing with a true freshman at quarterback after losing their starter, McLean Carter, right back in it. One more look here.
Well, as we expected, they were going to bring pressure. Zedrick Woods comes off the edge, untouched. Quarterback knows he's going to get hit. Jadian White's wide open in the corner of the end zone, and a perfect pass to get the Red Raiders on the board. Pressure's coming off the edge. He knows it's coming. He gets rid of the ball. Great route combination. Gets a little bit of a pick in man-to-man coverage. Jadian White wide open in the corner of the end zone, and Alan Bowman puts it on the money.
That was his second touchdown catch of his career, the 6-year senior. And talked about Alan Bowman's story. Didn't have a lot of offers going into his senior season of high school a year ago, a little over a year ago this time. Went to Texas Tech's football camp in mid-June and committed to the Red Raiders about 4 days after that. But just in the days leading up to that camp, he had gotten a handful of Division I offers.
There's Jadian High, 6th-year senior captain, had a great camp, savvy with great knowledge, gets him on the board.
They're going to take it out. This is Jones. Flag down, and Jones brought down at the 15-yard line. We're going to stay here and see what this flag is about. The flag thrown at the 12-yard line.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, number 12, kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Let's go back to the studio.
All right, Josie, thank you. Coming up on the Lexus halftime report, Ohio State without Urban Meyer. How are they faring? They are putting a hurting right now in Florida Atlantic. Also, an update on Kyler Murray looking red hot for Oklahoma without Baker Mayfield. And the Terps trying to pull off an upset. Myself, Joey Galloway, and Jesse Palmer. We'll see you at the half. Jonesy, back to you and Dusty.
All right, yeah, we got a good one heating up here, Adnan. And now it's time for the Red Raider defense to get untracked a little bit. Dakota Allen A likely top pick in the draft, looking to make an imprint, but that time the defense gashed up front by Scotty Phillips. First down with 1:42 to go, 15-yard gain.
Javon Patterson, Sean Rawlings, the guard center, big hole off the left side for Scotty Phillips.
Ta'amu completes this one to Brown. Brown picks up about 7 on the play. We haven't said Dakota Allen's name a whole bunch here in the first half. Senior linebacker, one of the great stories in all of college football this year when you talk about redemption and being able to deal well with adversity. Over the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted off the tip, off of Brown's hands. DeMarcus Fields couldn't quite corral it.
A.J. Brown wide open, working up the seam. Pass sails a little bit on Jordan Ta'amu. A.J. Brown tried to climb the ladder, unable to bring it in.
3rd and 3.
Pressure situation for Texas Tech.
Ta'amu. Caught, flag, complete. What a catch by Lodge. DeMarcus Lodge tiptoeing to make the catch. Wow. And he was wearing Douglas Coleman.
Pass interference, defense, number 3. Penalties declined. Pass is completed. First down.
Well, they continue to pick on Douglas Coleman, right? He's in because Desmond Smith is out. What I love is Jordan Ta'amu saw there's no safety help over the top, so he's going to pick him in a one-on-one situation. Excellent deep ball down the sidelines, and the concentration by the senior DeMarcus Lodge to get that foot in and complete the catch. Outstanding job.
Kept that right foot in bounds right there.
That's a catch.
By an inch.
Timeout called. Texas Tech, their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Nasty wideouts. Lodge, Brown, Metcalf. He might get the belt for a catch like that, right?
And here's the problem, though. You're right. Here's the problem, though, is that they've got so many guys, right? Is that you can only have so many safeties that you can cheat over the top and help out. There was no safety on this side of the field. Jordan Ta'amu saw that from Jump Street. He knows the safety can't get over the top, so he's going to take that one-on-one shot, especially against a backup who's in there. It's hard to have enough quality defensive backs to deal with what this Ole Miss offense throws at you. It's not just the NWO. It's also Dawson Knox, all these different guys.
Well, you want to know how much they love Ta'amu, their quarterback, in Oxford, Mississippi?
Hey, what's up, Coach? Mahalo.
You know what? You won't find a better protected quarterback in the country. I've coached NFL lines, I've coached college lines, but these guys are truly taking it to the next level.
Well, they've made him comfortable here today. Not quite the lounge chair with the umbrella drink and the lay around his neck, but they protected him pretty well today.
He's very chill, calm, laid back. Island life. Gotta love that. The big ugly getting in there, making sure the food's okay.
Protection. Under duress into the end zone and incomplete. He was looking for Lodge, and he'll set up a 3rd down now for Ole Miss.
Well, Mark, there's a little aloha spirit here at NRG Stadium. Fans are wearing and passing out leis in honor of Jordan Ta'amu. And maybe they'll be trading in their hot toddies for Mai Tais sometime soon, supporting their Hawaiian quarterback.
Yes, sir. Sounds like the move. 3rd and 10. And a whistle. Going to blow this dead. Interesting to talk about his demeanor, because Phil Longo, their offensive coordinator, said at one point he approached his quarterback and said, "Hey, is football important to you? Are you excited enough And he said, yeah, Coach, I'm just that type of guy. I'm a little bit stoic, you know. And Longo made the admission that he was wrong about it. Yeah.
And then what I loved is he said he changed his approach. He changed the way he approached coaching Jordan Ta'amu, and clearly they've been able to get on the same page and have great success.
One live ball, one dead ball. False start offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. After the play, personal foul, number 14. 15-yard penalty. The result of the play is third down.
DK Metcalf getting called for the personal foul.
And that's going to push the ball all the way back to the 36.
Out of field goal range.
For Ole Miss.
Wow. Big mistake.
3rd and 30. That can't be the penalty, right?
No.
Wow, and Metcalf got one for Ole Miss. Ta'amu. Boy. Dawson Knox thought it was for him, but instead it ended up in the arms of Lodge and a pickup of 15 on the play.
It's a smart play by Ta'amu. Going to get a chunk back so they can get themselves back in field goal range after lose 20 on the previous play. This deep out route. On time and on target.
It'll be about a 39-yard attempt from Luke Logan here. Already made both of his today. And they're going to whistle the play dead. They get a timeout on the field called by Texas Tech. They try and ice them a little bit. Folks, we'll have a special Sunday night kickoff matchup for you on ABC. Number 8, the Miami Hurricanes taking on number 25, LSU at AT&T Stadium. Our coverage kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's also streaming live on the ESPN app. Mark Richt's crew ready to go, ranked number 8, and picked as one of the favorites in the ACC. Meanwhile, Dakota Allen trying to make his indelible mark on this game still. And coming up in the second half, we'll talk about his ascension from adversity. Picked off the team several years ago, only to come back and enjoy great success. His dad and mom, his dad on the right, mom on the left. And a couple of proud parents there. From 39, and it's good. A line drive between the pipes. And he's now 3 for 3 on the day, Luke Logan is. With 37 seconds to go. Dusty, you almost get the feeling, though, that that's a couple times now that Ole Miss has had to settle for field goals down there.
Three times in the red zone. Yeah. David Gibbs' defense has bowed their backs and come up with stops.
Yep.
That's something to build upon. Had the big play on the second play of the game where the corner falls down. They give up a kick return. And now 3 times in the red zone, they've been able to turn this Ole Miss offense away. So, again, you're giving up 30. It's tough to find a lot of positives, but if you dig in there, the Tech defense has done some good things.
There's a look at the QB comparison. Bowman and Carter, who's done for the rest of the game. Kingsbury said that he liked the maturity of his team coming into this opener. The team seems very self-motivated. On the kickoff. Out to the 35-yard line. Mason Reed on the return. And Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, number 20, Virginia Tech, and number 19, Florida State, kicking off their seasons on ESPN with a college football megacast. We'll also have you covered on ESPNU, ESPN News, ESPN3 with alternate productions to bring you the game in its biggest way. Plus, Marty Smith and Ryan McGee will have the first ever Goodyear Blimpcast. Hold on, am I reading this thing right?
Yes, you are.
1,000 feet above Doak Campbell Stadium, for the entire game. That's about the view they're going to be looking at. As always, you can stream it live on the ESPN app from anywhere. Hold on, man. 1,000 feet up in the blimp. So
they asked if we want to do it. I said, nah, I'm going to pass. I like it better in the booth.
Bring the Doritos, huh? Well, that's the end of the first half of play. Kingsbury are going to regroup in the locker room behind a true freshman quarterback and make a run in the next 30 minutes.
All right, Jonesy, Dusty, Molly, thank you so much. Exciting first half getting us underway.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Advocare Texas Kickoff presented on ESPN by Xfinity. A warm and muggy day in Houston. Ole Miss leading 30-17 as we take a look at today's Visit Houston playbook, Dusty.
Big kick return right out of the jump street. After Texas Tech goes down and scores, Ole Miss comes back, and it's excellent blocking. Hat on a hat. They mark their men, and all they give is a little alley for Jalen Jones. He sees the alley, and it's off to the races. Speed kills in football. And when you give a guy like Jalen Jones a little crease, an alley, he can take it the distance, as we saw there.
Yeah, how many times do we see early in the college football season special teams being a bigger factor sometimes than it normally would? And to start the second half, third quarter, Daquan Bowman back and will take a knee. It'll come out to the 25, first down and 10. Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak chopping it up. Molly McGrath down in the field. Another great start to a fantastic anticipated college football season. Dusty, big plays have been the theme, the prevailing storyline so far.
Ole Miss with 5 plays of 30-plus yards. We saw the kick return, passes in the run game. Texas Tech defensively going to have to find a way to slow down these explosive plays and have to find a way to slow down Ole Miss's NWO, partner.
Nasty wideouts. Big part of the game so far. And for Texas Tech, the story now shifts to the freshman quarterback, Alan Bowman, who came in for the injured starter, McLean Carter. Has already thrown a touchdown pass. A daunting hill ahead for him. That one incomplete. Intended for high. And Molly, what did Coach Kingsbury have to say at the break?
Well, Coach Kingsbury wouldn't commit to just Alan Bowman as his quarterback in the second half. He said, we'll see. I can see that he has some freshman jitters. He needs to settle down a bit.
Of course, the other quarterback is Jet Duffy. Keep in mind, it was a three-way competition for the number one job between Carter, Duffy, and Bowman.
Offside defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Interesting that Molly would say Kingsbury hasn't committed to Bowman the rest of the way. Enters the game in relief of McLean the starter, and
probably wants to keep Jet Duffy ready to go, you know, on his toes, make him think that at any moment he's going to be put out there. But I thought, all things considered, Alan Bowman stepped in and did a relatively nice job, especially with the touchdown drive.
Hands it off here to Trey King. And King stopped up. It'll be third down. About 2.5 to go after that 3-yard gain.
Very balanced in the first half. 19 rushes, 20 passes. As we said, more of an emphasis on the run game. You know, in training camp, they were much more physical, taken to the ground in practice. They've been working on changing who they are, their identity. Third and short. We'll see if it comes out here.
DeLeon Ward back in the ball game in the backfield for King. He sets to the right of Bowman and takes the handoff. Nowhere to go. That defensive front, led by Josiah Coatney, stones him at the line of scrimmage. Might have even been a loss of 1 yard on the play.
But Josiah Coatney, really solid football player. They call him Mr. Consistent. He's a hard hat guy, rock solid inside, playing the 3 technique position. He's just going to get up the field, create some havoc, and make a big play on third and short.
Top returning tackler from a season ago, and a big play there for the Ole Miss defense. And you got a shot of Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator. He had the quote of the day yesterday during our meetings when we were talking about, we asked him whether he'd be on the field or up in the booth. He said, hey, You can't put enthusiasm in jail.
Can't lock me up.
Yeah, he's roaming the sidelines.
Well, he's chock full of enthusiasm, man. You could tell he's a passionate man about his football and was excited to see his defense get out of here. He had a bad taste in his mouth last year about the poorest rush defense. I mean, because they were bad. 123rd in the country, giving up 245 yards a game. And he said he put together a highlight reel of all the big chunk plays, the bad runs, and he called the guys out, and he basically said, I want guys that are going to play. He opened up jobs, and he feels he's got a much better front seven for this season.
Yeah, there were some guys who were juniors and seniors got beaten out by younger guys. DeMarcus Lodge with a great run after the catch and picks up a first down. A pickup of 12. Coleman finally pushing him out of bounds.
Yak yardage there. Again, they continue to pick on same guy we've talked about quite a bit here, Douglas Coleman, who's in for Desmond Smith. Had to leave the game early with a targeting penalty.
Ta'amu hands it off to Scotty Phillips. You know, going back to last year, it was interesting to hear the coaches tell us that, and even some of the players we visited with yesterday from Ole Miss, that they feel like this guy, Ta'amu, won the locker room really early. Actually, when he came in the latter half of that LSU game. 2nd down and 6. Incredibly poised, a guy that's waited his turn and made the most of his opportunity. Phillips brought down by Jones.
They said it was a fist pump right after that first touchdown, and they just knew. He did win the locker room the full respect, and then he goes against Arkansas, throws for over 350, and leads them to a road victory against Kentucky.
Good spin move by Phillips, but couldn't escape the second tackler. And 4th down and, well, a little less than a yard to go. A good part of the field to gamble.
Oh, you got to punt this one with the lead. Remember, freshman quarterback. Okay, you've got a 13-point lead. The last thing you want to do is give Texas Tech, you know, an opportunity, some life at midfield and shorten that field. I think it's the right call by Matt Luke.
Mac Brown into punt. Brown only punted 5 times last season, averaged a little over 42 per. Puts the nose down in the football. It comes out end over end. And a fair catch at the 12-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10. 37-yard punt. Time under the field. Texas Tech offense back on the field when we come back, and we're going to travel a dusty road, folks, on the other side. And welcome back, everyone, to the Advocare Texas Kickoff presented on ESPN by Xfinity. And as we travel our dusty roads this year, passion and enthusiasm, key words, right?
That's right. Wesley McGriff. You know, we're looking for things off the beaten path. The passion, the energy, the emotion. We saw it firsthand yesterday. He's got a great connection with his players, and his defense has showed up here so far, and they're playing for him this morning.
Great effort on defense, holding Texas Tech to 17. Trey King runs it for about 5 on the play. And, you know, we talked about Texas Tech's defense. Coach McGriff's defense, a little different this year. Loading up the box a little bit more man on the corners.
Definitely in this matchup. They've been doing a lot of man coverage.
Here's King. And King runs for the 1st down because you mentioned against the run, they were not very good last year.
They weren't, so they're going to load up, right? And they told his corners earlier, back all the way in spring camp and in fall camp, I'm going to put you in bad situations. Just know that now, because we're not going to get gashed the way that we have in the past. Just don't let things behind you. Keep it in front. We can rally up and tackle and live with that. By the way, 2 very physical runs back-to-back by Trey King.
Make that 3 now, and he stumbles forward to pick up about 3 yards. You know, Coach McGriff gave us some gems yesterday. Another one was when he talked to his defensive backs and told them about the new style they'd be playing. A lot of men, he said, hey, you better change your dress, fellas, because you're going to be living on an island. He meant that literally and figuratively. 2nd and 7. It's held up so far today. Bowman incomplete. Trey King out of the backfield, covered closely by Jalen Jones. It'll be 3rd down and 7 coming up for Alan Bowman.
Mohamed Sanogo, sophomore, middle linebacker. He's lined up at the line of scrimmage. They brought him off the edge, forced that pass out early. And the freshman Alan Bowman setting up 3rd and medium. Watch up top. TJ Vasher. No safety over the top. Man-to-man coverage.
Run a little receiver screen complete for the first down, and then some. Wesley into Ole Miss territory, and a first down. Great block on the edge, Dusty, from Zach Austin. They move the chains.
That's exactly right. Zach Austin. Fantastic job blocking on the perimeter.
They go quick, and King picks up another first down. Good tempo here by the Red Raiders.
And here they go, and there's a running back screen, right? What we talk about, easy throws for this young quarterback where the pressure can't get to him and he can get some confidence going. And now he's got himself in a rhythm. This Tech offense is rolling.
11-yard gain. Quick slant complete. And another first down to Austin. Brought down inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line.
They want to go fast. You see Ole Miss is trying to sub out. They want to get a fresh set of defensive linemen. And Texas Tech, they want to go fast.
13-yard pickup and another first down at the 24.
Run formation.
This looks more like the air raid we're accustomed to looking at. Daleon Ward picks up 5.
Good vision there by Daleon Ward. Kind of picking his way. Not much there.
It's all about tempo now for Texas Tech.
They've got them on their heels. And Coach Kingsbury feels that. Ole Miss defense, they're backed up.
Ward again picks up 1. A touchdown here for Texas Tech, and the whole complexion of this game changes even more. 3rd and 4 coming up. Kingsbury against McGriff right now.
We've seen screens in this situation. Slant, quick, easy throws.
Vasher lined up to the top of the screen. He's the long, lanky receiver at 6'6". And we got a flag down.
Movement up front.
False start, offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that's a captain. That's Travis Bruffy. Had a chance to chat with Travis yesterday. Very excited about this game. He's put together a nice career. But for a player that smart and a leader on this team, it's a big mistake in that spot.
Yeah, that's a veteran offensive line up there. 3rd
All
and
5
9.
starters back from last year, Jonesy.
Ward in the backfield. Bowman a little indecisive, and then wisely throws it away instead of taking the sack. Keeps them in field goal range, but they seem very disconcerted there. And boy, Kingsbury's palms pointing skyward, trying to figure out what happened.
I'm kind of with Coach Kingsbury. I don't know, and it's almost as if Alan Bowman was confused. I don't know exactly what the miscommunication was, if he didn't get the call in, but he kind of panicked and just got rid of the football at the last moment.
Clayton Hatfield in for a 41-yard field goal. And that is true. Hatfield drills it now, 2 for 2 on the day. Hey, it's only a 10-point game.
Look.
And a timeout on the field. And we'll talk about one of the best redemption stories in all of college football on the other side of this. Stick around.
The Advocare Texas Kickoff is presented on ESPN by Xfinity. Now with ESPN3 available on Xfinity X1. And in part by Audi.
Hey, the Going Band from Raiderland, originally known as the Matador Band, is nearly as old as Texas Tech itself. In keeping with the campus's Spanish Renaissance architecture, their uniforms are styled after the Matadors, the first collegiate brand to travel to an away game. And they are rolling with the rhythm right now. Their team back to within 10 points. The Red Raiders slowly wresting away some of that momentum from Ole Miss, trailing by just 10. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It'll come out 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Dakota Allen, an interesting story, a compelling one, a riveting one for Texas Tech. In his freshman year, he was accused and arrested for burglarizing. He was subsequently kicked off the team, went to East Mississippi Community College for a year, played there, and then when it was time to play Division I football again, he actually decided to call Texas Tech up again, and he won over the coaching staff. They took him back, put him on scholarship, and he has been a real presence for this team, a leader, a captain for the last couple of years. Pass to Sanders complete, and a gain of about 7 on the play. It's great to see players make the most of a second opportunity, Dusty.
It is. You know, this story in particular really hits home for me. I made mistakes in college, and I was given the opportunity to have a second chance. I know what that feels like, and I know what that means to someone. And it's not how we start the race, it's how we finish. Young men, people are always going to have adversity in their life, obstacles. What do you do when that happens? Not only did Dakota Allen overcome those obstacles, he came out better on the other side. And now he's affecting his teammates, the people of Lubbock, in a positive way. Just a great story, and one that it's going to be told all throughout this season.
And here's a great run by Phillips, bursting up the middle, touchdown! 65 yards for Scotty Phillips. And in a blink, the lead is back up to 17 points. Just when it seemed like the Red Raiders defensively were starting to get a little bit more traction, Scotty got on his scooter, and it's 37-20. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear from the end zone to the uprights. Nothing comes between hard work and a goal. Goodyear, more driven. That was a quick drive down the middle of the field on that big run by Phillips. 11 rushes today, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. You were talking about replacing the production at running back this year. Phillips answering some of those questions early. And this will come out to the 25. And
well, it's a good run, but it's outstanding block. And look at the right side. Ben Brown, the redshirt freshman, getting his first start with a key block on the edge. And then it's Alex Givens getting up on Dakota Allen and frees it there. The safety, Thomas Leggett, he's got to make this play. But Scotty Phillips runs to daylight, and it's heels to the field as he walks in for his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Boy, that offense really firing on all cylinders today. They've got big play combustibility.
That counters their bread and butter offensively. They run that play till the cows come home.
Bowman hands it off. This is Staley on Ward, brought down by Jaquez Jones. Picked up 2 yards on the play.
Pretty sure we had 12 on the field there. Ole Miss never got the 12th man off when the ball was snapped.
They were in their CFL defense?
That's right.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down. The play is under review.
Oh, wow. Okay, they're going to look at this one. And hey, college football is back on ABC. Number 6 Washington battling number 9 Auburn from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, 3:30 Eastern time. And then at 8 Eastern, Louisville taking on number 1 Alabama in the Camping World kickoff game from Orlando. As always, both games streaming live on the ESPN app. You can watch that game anywhere. Interesting to take a look at the Huskies this year and who ultimately comes out of the Pac-12. Them, Stanford, amongst some of the favorites. And they've been criticized in the past for their non-conference schedule. No Montana this year. They've got Auburn, and that's going to be a great challenge for Coach Peterson and his gang.
Fantastic game in Atlanta. I think Washington, those are two really good football teams. Great
First down.
sevens.
Yep. First down and 5. Inside handoff, Ward got room. Ward out to the 42. First down, Jalen Jones making the tackle, 11-yard gain.
That burst as he gets to the edge. DeLeon Ward, rave reviews out of training camp.
His pass complete to Vasher. And Vasher tiptoes up the sidelines, about 2 yards shy. The first down, got 8 on the play. Bowman taking a shot here. And a great catch. Who else? The long and rangy Vasher with another first down, working on Jones.
When there's no safety over the top, TJ Vasher is a problem for opposing defenses. Nice ball by Alan Bowman. Puts it up high where only his target can go get it. And that's what Vasher does best. Go up and get the football.
He's working against their best cover corner. Bowman complete. Carter brought down right around the 10, inside the 10-yard line.
Wow. And high point the football about as well as anybody you'll see. He's got that great length, 6'6". Those hops. Wow.
And if I'm Bowman and Kingsborough, I'm thinking I want to throw it to him and just give him a chance to make a play frequently. Vasher at 6'6". A wiry 190 pounds. We have a Mississippi player down in the field. That's Jalen Jones, the defensive back who is being worked on.
Their best cover man, too, by the way, and kick returner.
Meanwhile, Vasher with 3 receptions today for a total of 67 yards.
And they need him to get going, Jonesy. You know, he needs to become a dominant force for this Texas Tech wide receiver core. He's putting on a show today, but he needs to continue to get better.
Well, first and goal when we come back. Back at Energy Stadium. Great gallop by Phillips a moment ago for the touchdown. Answering some of the questions they had at tailback this year. Boy, the eyes really are windows to the soul, aren't they? And they tell the whole story. First and goal for the Red Raiders. Handoff and touchdown Ward. Second touchdown of the day for DeLeon Ward. It's back down to a 10-point advantage for Ole Miss.
Well, even though Texas Tech has been down, they have not abandoned the run game. They continue to give the football to DeLeon Ward. Trey King, how about the vision by DeLeon Ward? The cutback lane is there. He sees it, puts his foot in the ground, and he runs to daylight as he walks into the end zone. Excellent job with the vision and the ability to cut back against the grain and get his offense a much-needed touchdown.
Well, DeLeon Ward actually being able to thrive under some tenuous recent circumstances, was wrongly arrested temporarily in and around Lubbock and subsequently released. Charges dropped, all charges dropped. In fact, local authorities say that he never should have been arrested in the first place, but it really put into perspective for him that every day is a great opportunity to take advantage of. And he's having a very productive afternoon here in Houston. 15 rushes, 90 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And Texas Tech back to within 10. 5.5 minutes to go. And Burke, what's good back in the studio?
Well, Josie, an update right now on Texas and Maryland. So here's Sam Ehlinger complaining to Colin Johnson. That's good news, but Texas trailed by 17 at one point. They've lost 35 straight games when that happens. Currently, Maryland has a 2-point lead. Josie?
All right, Texas in a tight battle there. And Cliff Kingsbury telling us this game was important for his Red Raiders because Houston, where we're playing, is a very fertile recruiting ground for them.
They got 23 guys from Houston on the roster. And they got plenty of recruits here that they would love to impress and put on a good show for. So no question for both these schools. Playing games like this, outstanding in recruiting.
First down and 10. Dakota Allen and his defense on the field. Looking to get a turnover. They won't get it here. A.J. Brown with a catch. Nice move after the catch, and another first down, a pickup of 20. Let's go down to Molly.
Well, Mark, Dakota Allen's parents, Keith and Shelly, are here today. He admitted to me that his relationship with his parents deteriorated after he left Texas Tech that first time. He had his bags packed, ready to move out. He didn't speak to his father for weeks, but they mended their relationship. And Allen said the hardest part about returning to Lubbock in 2017 was that his parents didn't want him there. They were afraid the community wouldn't welcome him and that the media would be too overwhelming. But, you know, Allen took that risk because he wanted to finish what he started, change his story at Texas Tech for the better. And 2 months after returning to Texas Tech, he was named a team captain. So that just shows you the impact that this young man has had on this program.
Yeah, great job, Molly. And, yeah, Allen said that the hardest part for him was in wake of his legal issue was showing up on his parents' doorstep with his bags packed. But as we've mentioned, he has really turned it around. And, boy, you watch him play football. He's a play on Sunday type of guy, right? And then some.
Absolutely. He's going to have an opportunity to play on Sundays. One of the better linebackers in the Big 12. It's really a great leader for this defense. He's the voice of this defense for Texas Tech and David Gibbs. But he's a downhill linebacker. He's got great instincts and the ability to tackle well in open space.
Allen said it was humbling. And he's from Last Chance University, which, if you don't already know, East Mississippi Community College, and from Humble, Texas. Humble. Appropriate. It was humbling handling the university. Five minutes to go in the third. Allen and the defense looking for a stop. The handoff is to Scotty Phillips, who ran for a touchdown just a few moments ago. And Ole Miss had Sean Rawlings injured a moment ago.
He got rolled up on that big A.J. Brown reception. The offensive guard, Ben Brown, came up on him. But how about the A.J. Brown? This is what I was talking about. He's the best in the country when the ball's in his hands. Look at DeMarcus Lodge getting a big bone-crushing block to help spring A.J. Brown for a few more yards.
That'll rattle your feelings a little bit. Scotty Phillips picks up a couple of yards. These guys do block.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, even though if they're not catching the ball, they're affecting the play. And that when you get total buy-in from your wide receivers like that, and that's when you can really have an offense that can function at a high level as the Texas Tech crowd gets on their feet. Big third down and 8. And David Gibbs, he's been playing a lot of coverage here, not bringing the pressure.
Trips left formation for the Rebels.
No A.J. Brown in there right now.
Ta'amu surveys, incomplete. His intended receiver, Dawson Knox, fell near the first down. No flag on the play. And Gibbs' defense gets the stop they wanted.
Yeah, they go zone coverage again. It's been what they've doing on third and long situations. They're just rushing forward, no pressure. Jordan Ta'amu has plenty of time. Justice Parker right there in the throwing lane, and Dawson Knox falls down on the route. And David Gibbs and the Tech defense off the field once again.
Mac Brown into punt. Juan Bowman back deep. And not a great effort by Brown. Let's see where they mark this. And we talked about some of the contentiousness on the field in the first quarter. It got started early, and we had a little dust up down there. No pun intended, Dusty.
Hey, man, it's week one. These dudes want to win a football game. They've been hitting each other all camp long, and now finally they get another opportunity. There's a little bit of animosity on the field today.
Yeah, just a 16-yard punt, too. Hey, folks, we'll have a special Sunday night kickoff matchup for you on ABC. Number 8, the Miami Hurricanes taking on number 25, the LSU Tigers at AT&T Stadium. Our coverage kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also streaming live on the ESPN app.
You gonna have your purple and gold on for that one?
Come on, man. You know that all of Carroll City and Overtown and Liberty City and Alapata and Miami Lake's gonna be watching that one. Canes ready for a big year. Trey King in a tailback. Boy, that was a dangerous pass, almost picked off. But Basher made the catch nonetheless. That was into some heavy traffic, Dusty.
You know, one thing that this Tech team is playing for, a 16 straight season opener win, which is third best in all of college football, only behind Ohio State and Alabama.
Against a high-quality opponent. Trey King put his hat down and got an extra yard or two and delivered a blow that time. Sets up a third down here. Got about 4 to go.
Physicality from Trey King. He lowers the shoulder on Montel Curtis and lets the defender know, I'm coming back for more.
Bowman complete for the first down to Jadian High. And he moves the chains with a 7-yard gain. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Bowman wisely gets rid of it.
It's a big third down throw a second ago by Alan Bowman to Jadian High. I mean, pressure was coming. He waited, and he found his target on a big-time third down, because as the clock continues to roll, it's a 2-score game. Texas Tech, they know they got to take advantage of these opportunities when they have them as they sit here at midfield.
Second and 10. Bowman has connected on 9 of his last 12 attempts.
Gotten into a bit of a rhythm.
Placing McLean Carter, who was knocked out of the game in the first quarter. Nowhere to go that time for Trey King. Coatney making the tackle on the play. Well, we talked about the tough run by King a moment ago. Played a couple of years ago at Hutchinson Junior College in Wichita, Kansas. And very grateful for the opportunity to play at Texas Tech. Actually still keeps the bus ticket from the 544-mile ride from Wichita, Kansas, through Oklahoma City, through Amarillo, Texas, and on to Lubbock. And up top, incomplete. Nowhere to go intended for Antoine Wesley. 4th and long, and they'll punt.
A lot of contact down by Javian Hamilton. I think that ball was uncatchable, so you saw no flag. Referee signaling no way to catch it. And you know Wesley McGriff is happy. Defense gets off the field. And he's going to go celebrate with his guys.
Let's go Reds. Let's go Reds.
Panizzolo punting. And both punters struggling here on their recent kicks. We saw Ole Miss with a 16-yard punt a moment ago. And this one might be about the same. Let's take a look at a few of the hot topics in college football with the Wendy's fresh look. Look at Gibbs' defense. Last 5 seasons, they have really done a great job of tearing the ball away out of opponents' arms.
I like this guy, man. He preaches turnovers. A lot of coaches say it, but they live it day in, day out, and it's the way they practice is why they've been so successful getting the ball out.
A pass complete to Lodge. Ball on the ground, recovered by Texas Tech. You were just mentioning what they do. Takeaway.
This is what they do. Run to the football, and when someone gets there, get the football out. David Gibbs preaches it, and his team has really bought in these last couple of years, and they saw the fruits of that labor with 15 strips, fumble recoveries last year.
That is not an accident.
No, it's not. Ball gets punched out, and Texas Tech all of a sudden back in business.
Eli Howard with the fumble recovery right there. Pouncing on that loose ball at the 49-yard line. And Texas Tech with an opportunity here as time winds down in the third quarter.
Eli Howard
with those flowing locks out of the helmet.
He hasn't popped today so far, hasn't make a lot of plays, but as I got ready for this game and I'm watching the tape, man, this guy uses his hands so well, technically sound. Man, he's really got a bright future ahead of him. 3 more years of eligibility for the sophomore Eli Howard.
Transfer from University of North Texas.
Plays with his hair on fire, Jonesy.
And that's a lot of hair. 1st and 10, Bowman completes it to Wesley and hit immediately for a gain of about 3. Webster with a tackle on the play by Ole Miss, and that's what it looked like pregame. You used to keep yours about that length, right?
I probably a little bit longer, potentially.
Whoa.
I used to throw that thing back. But I watched a young man on tape, man. He's a really good-looking player, and I was trying to get into his mind and figure out exactly what kind of pass rush moves he's going to show me today.
Long hair, don't care.
That's right. And that was back before long hair was in, man.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You're ahead of the curve.
That's right. That's right. Call those trendsetters, Jonesy.
Hey, I'm in good company, folks.
And it did not look good.
You didn't do the highlights, did you?
You seen that blonde in there, you know.
3rd and 4.
Big down right here for this Tech offense. Pressure coming.
They're going to try and heat up the freshman. They run it, and nowhere to go for DeLeon Ward. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Mohamed Sanogo, one of those guys that was a great story coming out of camp. Defensive coordinator McGriff telling us he really changed his body. And he told them at the end of last season, you need to go watch a lot of different middle linebackers through the years. Guys like Singletary, guys like Ray Lewis, and he did just that. 4th and 5, they're going to go for it.
Ooh. They're going to think about it.
And so will we. That's the end of 3 quarters of play. Texas Tech looking to make a move when we come back for the final 15.
With ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now.
Back for the start of the 4th quarter. Mark Jones chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak. Mullen McGrath down to the field. Start of the 4th quarter. A 10-point deficit for Texas Tech. Gambling here on 4th down and 5. Bowman up top. Contact. No flag. And Ole Miss will take over on downs. Intended for Vasher, but Webster was with him. There appeared to be a little contact, and Vasher actually looking at the official for the call there.
I don't like this. It's a miss by the official. He was getting grabbed from the backside the whole way down the route. Ken Webster is grabbing onto his back as he's running down the field. Holding, pass interference. I mean, he held them before the ball was released and when the ball was in the air, but official didn't see it. Ole Miss football.
Starting from the 46. What do you make of that call, Dusty? We'll talk about it after this one. Tamu hit while going to the ground. That's going to be a flag. That's going to go against John Bonney, the grad transfer from Texas. He's filling in for Jashawn Johnson.
I don't think there's going to be much of a discussion on this. The Texas grad transfer who got here August the 15th. Got to Lubbock August the 15th. They've already lost one of their cornerbacks, Desmond Smith.
Dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness with targeting. Number 10, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down. The play is under review.
Tamu goes to the ground.
That's not targeting.
No, I don't think that.
Personal foul, yes.
Yeah, he said he's telling him, I used my shoulder.
Yeah.
Now, part of the rule is indicators include a crouch, launching, upward thrust, lead with the helmet, shoulder, forearm, fist, hand, elbow to attack with forcible contact. All those are indicators, so.
After review, there is no targeting on the play. However, the personal foul will be enforced. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, so it's just the personal foul.
Quarterback gave himself up, right? He's sliding, he's giving himself up, therefore you can't hit him, but I totally agree. Glad to see, and quickly. I like how quickly they're able to look at that, assess that it was not targeting, and allow John Bonnie to stay in this game.
First down and 10 from the 34 of Texas Tech. Jordan Tamu, starting quarterback. First year as the full-time starter from the start of the season. Taking a shot up top, touchdown Brown! The nasty wideouts strike again. NWO. Courtesy of A.J. Brown. His 14th touchdown catch of his career. At 12 a season ago in a record-setting season for him. And the beat goes on with that 34-yard grab.
And with the explosive plays. And Jordan Tamu, as I said from the beginning of the show, one of the more underrated, great pocket by the offensive line. He's got time to throw, he steps into it, and it's a dime. Over the shoulder, perfect throw to one of the best receivers in all of college football, A.J. Brown, who did some work on the nickel, Justice Parker. It's a bad matchup for Texas Tech. Heck, that's a bad matchup for anybody, but just as we thought, Jordan Tamu, he's putting on a show, throwing the football, and the NWO, the nasty wideouts, they're legit, Jonesy.
Yeah, let's not, overlook or undersell the fact that Brown is thought to be, by many, the #1 receiver picked in the draft in April. And he's really shown us a lot of the tools today.
My, oh my, how things change quickly. It was a turnover. Tech got it around the 50. And then after they go for it on 4th down, a penalty later and a touchdown pass, this thing's back up to 17-point ball game.
Line drive kick to Bowman. Bowman brings it out to the 34-yard line. And let's go back to the studio with Adnan Burke.
All right, Jonesy, thank you very much. 2 years ago, Jake Browning had 41 touchdowns, and he was electric. Last year, college's 19 touchdowns. So which Browning will show up? A huge game, UW and Auburn, is coming up 35 minutes from now on ABC. Jonesy?
Okay, Adnan. And, we were down at the field before the game, Dusty, taking a look at those players, and you and I both a little surprised by the size of Brown.
Upper body.
Yeah, he's slapped together very well.
Man, he's very well put together, as is DK Metcalf.
Right.
Metcalf's a little bit longer, but man, you look at these guys. A.J. Brown, 6'1", 230. DK Metcalf, 6'4", 230. I mean, you don't see big physical receivers of that size all over college football like they have at Ole Miss.
First down and 10 for Texas Tech. Little jet sweep action. Number 22, Seth Collins on the run. Well, we saw him down in the field up close, and he is all of 230 pounds. He's using those big kettlebells at the gym. Not
yes, he is.
He's going in that special roped off section where I don't go near.
What's crazy? He's got speed. He's got hands. He can run routes. but he's truly at his best after the ball's in his hands. I mean, he's as good with the football in his hands in the open field as you're finding in the country. With that size, he's now matched up on corners, on safeties that are much smaller than him, that are tough to bring him down.
Bowman over the middle, and that time incomplete, intended for Seth Collins, who made a courageous effort to twist his body around to have an opportunity, but couldn't come up with it. 2nd and 10.
Seth Collins open up the seam. Decent throw, just a little bit high from Alan Bowman. Seth Collins tried to pull an TJ Vasher, just couldn't come down with the pass.
2nd and 10. And off is to King, and nowhere to go. Stopped cold by number 22, Taporis Tisdale. And Javian Hamilton both there.
It was an excellent call by Wesley McGriff. He brings a corner blitz off the edge right into that run play. Dialed up beautifully by the Ole Miss defensive coordinator.
Loss of 3, 3rd and 13. Bowman has put up pretty good numbers here in the second half, but a daunting task ahead. He double pumped and connects with Wesley, and Wesley's going to end up about 2 yards short of the first down. There's a flag down in the field, though, so let's see if this play stands or not.
It's like offsides.
That's going to go against Ole Miss.
Nose tackle Benito Jones.
Offside defense, number 95. Penalties declined. The play is accepted. 4th down.
I don't know if you know this or not, but nose tackles, they like to try to time up the snap. Benito Jones right there, he thought he had the cadence down. He thought he could jump that ball just a tad bit too early, and he drew the flag. Got to get this one.
Bowman gets rid of it quickly. A lot of contact on the edge, and a flag as Antoine Wesley couldn't get to it. Ken Webster, tell you what, Webster was holding him like a grudge.
Yeah. Pass interference, defense, number 5. Spot foul, 1st down.
That was an easy call.
He doesn't like it, but it was the right call. Tried to stay as tied to the receiver as he possibly could, but clearly too much contact before the pass. Was able to get to Antoine Wesley.
1st and 10 from the 45. Bowman going to tuck it under and go himself. And he will step out of bounds right near that 1st down marker at the 35-yard line. Looks like he's got enough. 12.5 minutes to go. Texas Tech down 17 points. The Raiders looking to improve on a 6-7 season from last year. Kingsbury with some pretty good expectations because they got a lot of vets on this team, a lot at stake in this game. National television, bowl-type atmosphere in their recruiting backyard here of Houston. Bowman over the middle, finds his target. That's Felton, and Felton stopped about 3 yards short of the first.
Like what I've seen from Alan Bowman, taking what the defense gives him and just throws it to his check down.
Completed the 21.
Quick out route, timing route. That's true freshman Alan Bowman, a true freshman Keyshawn Carter, the speedster. Put together a pretty nice day for his debut.
First and 10. Bowman going to run it into the boundary. Looked like he thought about falling, put it on the ground, but he was down first. Webster made the tackle. Gain of about 6 yards.
They pulled the right tackle, Terrence Steele, all the way out in front on the quarterback counter. Nice job, Alan Bowman getting what he can get.
He's got time on the slant, complete down to the 5-yard line. Dalton Rigdon with the reception. And first and goal. 11th play of the drive. Bowman keeps it. Didn't have enough sauce on that move, and we got a flag. 2 guys just fighting in the end zone. Woods, and now another flag thrown.
Montrell Custis of Ole Miss and 22 Seth Collins of Texas Tech. They're at each other's throat. I think the initial penalty is going to go on Custis of Ole Miss, but then Seth Collins kept kind of getting in his face, jabbering. It may be offsetting.
A lot of flags down there. Here's the play again.
Yeah. It's going to be offsetting. I think the initial flag, just like a...
There are 2 fouls on the play. One during the play and a dead ball foul. During the play, personal foul, defense number 2, unnecessary roughness. Half the distance to the goal, penalty, first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 22, offense, 15-yard penalty, results in a first down. That's number 22's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That's a terrible mistake by Seth Collins, okay? The flag's been thrown, you know it. Why continue to taunt the defender? Because guess what happened? These aren't just offsetting penalties. The defensive penalty, it was going to be half the distance. It would have been a 2-yard penalty. And then they back it up 15 from there.
Wow.
So really, this thing's going to net about a 13-yard loss for Texas Tech. There's just no, I mean, just walk back to your huddle.
Yeah.
What's done is done. And right there in front of the referees, like, got to be smarter than that if you're Seth Collins.
Yeah, that certainly had a deleterious impact on their offense. Now the ball all the way back at the 17, where it's first and goal.
I've been wondering since they've been in the red zone, where's TJ Vasher? And after they get backed up, he comes onto the field, and you have to kind of think with his length and some of the balls he's gone up and grabbed so far today, you'd have to think that Alan Bowman's going to be looking his way.
Yeah, he's matched up right now, Dusty, against 5'10" Javian Hamilton. I can almost hear Vasher out there saying, hey, I got a little one. I got one.
Because Jalen Jones is out. Their best cover guy's out. So if there was an opportunity to try to take advantage of a matchup, it's right here.
Tell you what, those eyes are wide open when you look at the eyes of Hamilton, the DB on that side. First and goal, Red Raiders. Looking at the sidelines. Those eyes are as big as saucers. Matched up against Vasher. They run the reverse. And nowhere to go, out of bounds at about the 13-yard line by Daquan Bowman. What do you make of that call?
I don't think it's the time and place for it. A little bit surprised that we see a screen, or that we see a reverse there, especially given what felt like you got a pretty good matchup. So time and place a little bit surprising as they try to come back into the boundary. Good job by the Ole Miss defense, though, keeping it contained.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Trey King going east-west, nowhere to go, north-south. Donnelly making the tackle. Kingsbury calling the play, says that he easily is able to survey the entire field from that vantage point.
Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, told us he's never been around a coach that sees everything as it's happening from field level as well as Cliff Kingsbury.
3rd and 7. Bowman into the end zone. Incomplete. He couldn't come down with it. Broken up at the last minute. Custis was there and appeared to be one of those defenders to knock it loose from Vasher.
Well, he put it up high where only his guy could go get it. Post route. TJ Vasher as we've seen him do several times today, goes up to high point the football. Look how high he can get. He holds it, and the ball comes loose.
Are they going to look at this?
I think it's definitely possible.
They look at all the plays, but they're going to let play continue here.
Cliff Kingsbury's going to call a timeout, and he's going to help aid them and give them a little extra time if they want to take a long, hard look at it.
The first time out of the half.
9:17 to go. Texas Tech threatening here, but trailing by 17 points. Coach is going to survey and draw one up. Back to Houston for a great finish in a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to Houston. A moment ago, a close call for Texas Tech as TJ Batcher unable to hang on to the ball in the end zone. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, we're looking at 4th down from the 14-yard line.
I like the thought process, though, to allow your biggest target the ability to go up and get the football down here at the bottom of your screen.
Bowman underneath into traffic, incomplete. Ole Miss will take over on downs. Montrell Custis there to break it up.
Big stop by the Ole Miss defense. 2 guys in the same area. Not what Texas Tech was looking for offensively, but Ole Miss comes up with a big stop.
Having a good day on D.
The Advocare Texas Kickoff, presented on ESPN by Xfinity, is brought to you by Advocare. We build champions. Shop and learn more at advocare.com. And Axe.
And great to be calling college football games again on this opening full Saturday in September. And congratulations to my colleague, our colleague, Dick Vitale, being inducted into the Sportscasting Hall of Fame. Other dignitaries, Bob Costas amongst them. Congratulations, Dick. And another flag as Ta'amu went to the turf and took a hit. That's the second time. Vontae Dorsey, the culprit.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense, number 15 with targeting. 15-yard penalty, first down. The play is under review.
Got to be smarter than that. Quarterback gives himself up. Stay away. That one will not be overturned.
Yeah. Had the crown of the helmet. Lowered the head. A disconsolate-looking defensive coordinator, David Gibbs. And they've already had one player ejected from the game, Desmond Smith, the other cornerback. So it's becoming a situation where they're getting a little bit short on numbers. Down by 17.
Not the team you want to be short on numbers in the secondary against. Remember Deshaun Johnson, the leader and captain of the back end of their defense. He's missing today. He's been nicked up through training camp.
After review, the targeting by number 15, Texas Tech, is confirmed. Number 15 is disqualified.
That's 2. And this is a defense. He's going to miss the first half of the game next week. From the 34-yard line, Scotty Phillips in at tailback. Play clock down to 7. They can afford to be very deliberate here, and they run the ball between the tackles out to the 38-yard line. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, Jonesy, thank you. This time an update on Texas and Maryland. Been a wild game. Longhorns up by 5, and Tayon Fleet Davis turning the corner. So Maryland's now 31-29. That game is down to weather delay. Coming up next, as Beth Mowens told me on Get Up, she can't wait to say, let's go P. Will Healy, the coach of Austin P, taking on Kirby Smart and Georgia. That game's coming up next. Jonesy.
Austin P, Georgia. It's not FCS week in the SEC, right?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Don't know how competitive that one's going to be.
Georgia number 3. And this is Scotty Phillips, who's had a stellar day.
It's been impressive today, Jonesy.
Let's look at the SEC preseason media poll. Georgia tops in the East. Alabama tops in the West. Georgia number 3 overall. Next week, we got to look at Mississippi State, as Mississippi State will travel to Manhattan, Kansas. New coaching staff at Mississippi State. Dan Mullen since departed to Florida in Gainesville. But they got some players still there. That should be an interesting matchup against Kansas State and Bill Snyder's game.
Mississippi State's got a squad this year. Defensive line's outstanding. They got players on defense. A lot of O-linemen back. Harris Williams. The question is, can Nick Fitzgerald pick up a Joe Moorhead offense?
Phillips breaking a couple of tackles. Finally down to the 8-yard line. John Bonney making a touchdown-saving tackle. A 44-yard gallop by Scotty Phillips, who gets up slowly.
Scotty Phillips has been running downhill all day. It's a simple zone to the left. I like the cut back in the vision. And when he gets vertical in north and south, he can really make you pay. Huge day for Scotty Phillips in his Ole Miss debut. He acted very comfortable and confident. Talking with Phil Longo yesterday, he thought the running back room would actually be better this year. High praise for Scotty Phillips, and boy, he's lived up to it and some.
Career high 204 yards, and look of approval from Coach Longo, the offensive coordinator. Run to open grass is the philosophy, right? And the handoff. Willard. We just saw the SEC preseason media polls. Do you agree with where Ole Miss has been picked?
I mean, that SEC West is a bear now. I mean, it's tough. So I think this Ole Miss offense is going to be as good as anybody in the SEC. I mean, I think that what we've seen from Jordan Ta'amu today, these wide receivers, Scotty Phillips, they're going to have a lot of success. I mean, they were rolling last year, and that's only going to continue this year. The question I still don't know, because I don't think this Texas Tech offense is as high-powered or as dominant as they have been in the past.
Right.
I don't know how improved that Ole Miss defense is going to be. So I think it's going to have to play itself out a little bit more to see if they're a true contender. But I can tell you this much, this offense, it's legit. And whether it's Texas Tech or it's going to be SEC defenses, they're going to give everybody a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're going to get some points this year. Approaching 5.5 minutes to go. Brown with a touchdown catch. Ta'amu continues to be one of the great stories in the SEC going back to last year. He told his story a little bit earlier. Coming out of high school in Hawaii, lightly recruited. No Division I offers. Went to junior college in New Mexico at New Mexico Military Institute. And then on to Ole Miss, just one of 2 schools in the Power 5 conferences that offer. Tillon Knight in it backfield. And he gets stopped immediately. That's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. But a good start so far for Matt Luke. You know, he exudes Ole Miss. Former lineman, 95 to 98, met his wife at Ole Miss, who also attended the school. His father and brother also played at Ole Miss. So when you look at somebody that really embodies the core values of the school and what they want to project and the message and narrative they want to carry, it's in good hands with him.
It means a lot to him. It's personal, right? It's family, it's friends, it's his life. I mean, he's been a part of Ole Miss football. What did he tell us? His father's helmet would sit up on the
encyclopedias
next to the encyclopedias in the living room. So I mean, this guy is he lives and breathes Ole Miss football. And, he said he's had every perspective. He's been a fan. He's been a player. Obviously, he's been a coach, and now he's the head ball coach. So, as you mentioned, the passion he has for that university and the level that he wants to see it get to, unmatched.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately a big reason why they made the decision to make him the head football coach.
And they have a pretty good recruiting class coming in for 2019, ranked in the top 20. Time out on the field with 4.5 minutes to go. A.J. Brown and the Land Shark showing their fangs today. Back after this. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Keep pushing day in and day out on the field and on tires you can trust to help you go the distance. Goodyear, more driven. Well, college football back on ABC. Number 6 Washington taking on number 9 Auburn. 3:30 Eastern from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And at 8 Eastern time, Louisville taking on number 1 Alabama in the Camping World kickoff game from Orlando. As always, both games streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can catch the game anywhere. The field goal good by Luke Logan from 23 yards out. They tack on one more score, and it's a 20-point contest with 4:09 to go.
Not the day that David Gibbs and the Texas Tech defense had in store. Now, they felt really good about this defense. 10 starters coming back. And it's just been all the Ole Miss offense and explosive plays.
When you have your starting quarterback back, like Jordan Ta'amu is, then that really helps set the tone for that entire offense. He's got the beats on, and they were playing the right music on offense this year. Well, today,
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?"
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
welcome back, everyone, to the Advocare Texas kickoff presented on ESPN by Xfinity. From Houston, one of the biggest city sprawls in America. You can drive on Highway 59 forever, Dusty. 4:08 to go. Bowman on the kick return. Out to the 24-yard line. Let's check in with the studio.
All right, Jonesy, thank you very much. Nick Chubb, Sony Michel moving on. So DeAndre Swift is now the man for the Georgia Bulldogs. Heavy expectations as Georgia should be loaded for Kirby Smart. We'll get their first look against Austin Peay coming up. Jonesy.
Okay, Adnan, and back here in H-Town, home with the MLB champs Astros and Houston Rockets. Look at the size of this city. I mean, it is spread out.
Houston Texans going to have a pretty good team this year. Sean Watson back out there. J.J. Watt's going to be healthy.
Good to see them go and a place of refuge for the Gulf Coast residents. The Astrodome, we showed that a little bit earlier. A lot of people from New Orleans and the Gulf Coast have permanently relocated here to the Houston area. Pass out to Trey King. You know, speaking of King, talked about him earlier and how grateful he is to be playing college football after playing at Hutch. It's a long bus ride. I think I talked about it was 544 miles. And during that time said he watched a lot of tape of different running backs, Bo Jackson, Alvin Kamara among some of his favorites. That and a bag of Doritos will go a long way. Bowman with nowhere to go. Throws it out of bounds, stops the clock with 3:21 to play. What do you make of Bowman and Texas Tech moving forward? They have Lamar next week, and then they take on Houston, which will be a test.
Well, I think you have to check the status of McClain Carter. How bad's that ankle? You know, what's that going to look like? Maybe next week against Lamar is a good opportunity if he's not ready to go to get him back out there. But I thought in the second half, Alan Bowman's done a relatively good job. I mean, it hasn't been great, but for a true freshman thrown out there against a formidable defense, I mean, I think he's handled himself relatively well. And some things you can go off of.
Stepped up here. Dangerous throw, but complete on the other end to Jadian High.
Nice play getting outside the pocket. As you mentioned, pressure was coming. He steps up, keeps his eyes down the field.
22-yard gain for the Red Raiders, who, in all likelihood, barring a miraculous, catastrophic turnaround for Ole Miss, they'll have their 15-game home opener winning streak snapped. That's High again on the catch.
Jadian High's been a bright spot for this Tech offense today. Several catches, the 6-year senior captain.
He had a phenomenal camp, in the words of the coaching staff. Incomplete.
Back to your question about the quarterback situation. I mean, McLean Carter won the job. So I think when he's healthy, I don't think we've seen anything here today that Alan Bowman's going to take that away from him. So I think first you find out where your quarterback's at. And Jet Duffy, you know, I think if he was ready to go, we would have seen him today. So that tells me he's a little bit further behind being able to throw the football than Carter or Bowman. So if Carter's not ready to go, I think Alan Bowman is your starter until Carter can get back and be healthy.
On 2nd and 10, Bowman completes this one out of the backfield to Trey King. We talked about it a little bit earlier, Dusty. If you're a head coach, how much do you have to, I'm not going to call it babysitting, but pay attention to your backup quarterback when you have a situation where it's really close in terms of competition for the #1 spot?
Well, I mean, you have to just make sure that they stay in the fight, right? They stay confident, that they stay ready to go. I mean, the last thing you want, I think engage would be the word. The last thing you want is your backup quarterback to be disengaged or feel that he can get the fair shake in a quarterback competition. That way, when situations like this arise, he's still focused, he's still locked in, and when called upon, you're ready to go.
It doesn't take much to put those release papers in front of your coach these days.
No.
It happens a lot. 1st down and 10. King, nowhere to go between the tackles, just across the 20-yard line with 1:37 to play.
Which is a big reason I think we see so many of these quarterback competitions play all the way up until the start of the regular season. I mean, it's all over the country. It seems that coaches are waiting longer and longer and longer to name that starter, and they allow these competitions to play themselves out.
On 2nd and 9. Pass complete down to the 9-yard line, and as we traveled back down our dusty roads, and our defensive coordinator Wesley McGriff, he has been rife with passion and energy. Almost intercepted that pass into the end zone, and his defense doing a nice job in the secondary there. Number 21, Hamilton.
Well, he was full of energy yesterday. We sat down with him. We talked with him earlier today before the game, and he was excited to get his defense out here. He told us he wanted to be aggressive. He wanted to come after Texas Tech, and they've done that here this afternoon.
Ole Miss going to open up 1-0. Bowman into the end zone, incomplete, and no flag thrown. Next week. But first, we'll talk about tonight on ESPN after BYU Arizona. Stan Verrett, Michael Eaves, they'll break down 2 of the night's biggest games: Louisville, Alabama, Michigan, Notre Dame, plus the top sights and sounds from week 1 in college football. And Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers continuing their crucial series with the D-back. Sports Center after college football, 1:45 a.m. Eastern time, 10:45 p.m. Pacific on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app. That Michigan-Notre Dame game going to be very interesting. Get a look at that Michigan defense, which comes into the season with a lot of hype.
Defense is serious. Rashawn Gary is fantastic. Devin Bush, a linebacker. If they can get good to better than good play from Shea Patterson, former Ole Miss quarterback, Michigan's going to be a tough team to deal with this year.
And that BYU game, colleagues Rod Gilmore and Adam Amin on that game, and Quint Kesnick. 4th and goal coming up.
A little tape. out west tonight.
Quick slant, incomplete, broken up nicely by Montrell Custis. Gets up and says, "You don't want this smoke." Not here.
Really nice play by Montrell Custis, playing the nickel back, inside slant to the speedster. Keyshawn Carter gets that left hand in there, the pass breakup.
And an appropriate way to end perhaps the day defensively for Ole Miss's defense. Now that's the hope this year. They were in need of improvement, and Coach Wesley McGriff telling his guys, job well done today, giving up just 27 points to Texas Tech. 12 seconds to play. And Jordan Ta'amu putting together a pretty good day here today. 22 of 32 passing. Another 300-yard plus game throwing the ball. 2 touchdowns, and Kingsbury's Red Raiders take an L to open the season. Matt Luke's Rebels will go home with the W. Austin Peay, Georgia coming up next. Another SEC team in action.
Texas Tech's going to have to get back home, get healed up. They got Lamar next week, a chance to get on the winning ways. And
let's go downstairs to Molly.
Thank you, Mark. Coach, your team is known for the NWO, but Scotty Phillips, the first running back for Ole Miss to rush for 200-plus yards since 2010. How encouraging is that to you?
Well, I knew I was cautiously optimistic because I had been seeing it in practice, but it's good to see him come out here in a game, you know, #1 junior college running back in the country, but it just adds that other dimension to our offense, and he's able to step in and replace Jordan Wilkins.
What did Jordan Ta'amu do to impress you today?
You know, I think he did a good job. He took care of the football, you know, and I think he just made really good decisions, and, you know, that's what he does.
This is your first win with the interim tag removed. This team said that they wanted to play and win for you. Last night they told us that this season is all about giving you the credit that you deserve. How meaningful is that for you being an Ole Miss guy?
Well, I love this team and I love our guys. So it's not about me, it's about us and we. And that's what makes it special.
That's what makes you so good, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Go, go. Our final score, 47-27. Ole Miss gets the win. Ta'amu with a big day. Harrison and Cooper proud of their dad, head coach Matt Luke. Right now to Athens for Austin Peay in Georgia.